Where's that twat gone now?
Always pissing off. I don't even know him. Who is it? Where am I?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I can't remember your name.
I don't know my name. I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am. It's going to be a self-discovery.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that is shit. You know what I'm saying?
Who's shit?
All of you.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Love you too.
I can't believe he's thought of you guys for tonight's stream. I mean, bloody hell.
Don't think we're good enough.
Where's he gone?
I could do that 10 times better than any of you.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
I'm being serious, man. I'm the real deal. Don't know what you guys think of yourself, man.
I could just leave this stream right now. You know, just ruin everything.
Yeah, I don't know why he's asked you to be here.
Because we're awesome.
I'll just leave then.
Goodbye.
I'll just take my away. And I'll leave if that's how I'm being treated.
You might as well. You're not even being paid to be here. You know that.
Where's my camera gone off? Oh, it's back.
You should have stayed off, man.
Well, let's be honest. Everyone's come to see me.
So you get just a bridge. Well, it actually is here. He's supposed to be here. Running a stream.
What's a Wally?
He's just not.
Well, thing is, we've gone over time. Where's he gone?
Who knows?
Oops. My face has come off.
Just gonna carry on.
So where did he say he's gone?
For a shit, I think.
For where?
For a poo.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful. How classy.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good old shit. Yeah.
Nice big tangy poo.
I like my poo with sweet corn.
Okay.
I love shit. I'm a pig. Oh god. So I don't know if I can deal with today's stream. All the people, all the nutters we get.
What's your favourite chocolate bar, Tom?
Milky Way. No, Milky Bar. Milky Bar.
What about you, Tom B?
No, that was Tom B.
I am Tom B.
Oh yeah.
But too many Toms.
Too many Toms.
Too many Toms.
Oh, for God, the face keeps coming off.
Tom J, what's your favourite chocolate bar?
I don't know what my favourite is.
Milky Bar kid is strong and tough.
It's too sweet. I don't like Milky Bar so much these days. Snickers, maybe.
Oh, Snickers is a bold choice.
I think Cadbury's Boost or Double Decker, one of them possibly. Me.
Do you like my collection of knives?
Weapon of choice.
Oh God, that actually just stuck into the board without me even doing anything. Though, if you can see that,
That's a proper knife.
that's never been used before.
No.
Then
This is a proper United States Marine Corps knife.
Why have you
Skinned
done
a
that?
rabbit with it, but that's about it. Sharp.
Well, I suppose you could show the viewers that you're not just doing. It's not just stomach or anything.
Well, it doesn't look very sharp there, but it is. Yeah, it's already been used now.
Bloody hell.
I paid a lot of money for that. I went to the army.
Let's just say when Mike comes back, let's let's make sure no one sees that, because I think we've got to keep this PG. We don't want to keep we don't want kids to look at this sort of thing. Oh, Knox got a knife.
I think we all know by now knives are dangerous. Not exactly.
Oh, we're live, are we?
There.
Oh shit!
Fuck!
Oh dear.
How long have we been on for?
Yeah, I don't know. He's taking his time.
5 minutes.
Mm.
Have you all been watching? All of you guys.
Yeah. No, I can see there's comments rolling in already.
Oh god. Oh no, that means he's seen the knife.
Someone, I don't know who this guy says. He said, "Bloody lovely. I just came here to see Gavin play with Percy, not talk about poo."
And I've just so you guys know, actually I really like their work. I don't think they're a waste of space.
Yeah. Like I said, we all know knives are bloody dangerous.
Yeah. You Wally.
Same as soldering irons are dangerous.
Oh, bloody soldering iron.
Yeah, but not as well.
What if you just get damage?
I've never seen a thief walk around with a soldering iron plugged in.
Carry a battery.
To be fair, you could do some damage.
You could do a lot with a soldering iron, yeah.
Okay, guys. So I don't know where Mike's got to, but hello, I'm Tom Biddle, aka Blue Pioneer, and we have on the stream we have today. We have Sparkshot, aka Knuckles, Gavin Rose. Say hello.
Or Knobhead. That's the other thing I'm called.
We have the same guest as last week. I mean, the last stream we have Tom Jedsky, aka Tom's Props.
Hello.
Hello, Tom. Yep. And of course, we don't know where he's gone. The lucky bastard who's been able to do so much for Thomas, and yet he still has time to hang out with us guys. It's
here he bloody comes. Here he bloody is.
Well, that's perfect timing. Anyone would think this was planned.
We've already announced ourselves, Mike. Sorry, dude.
What you done?
We've already announced ourselves.
Hello.
When you announce yourselves? From the start of the stream, yeah.
Yes, we've been going for a bit now. Turns out you started.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
What a wally. Thanks to you, they've been able to sort of see what a horrible person I am.
We all knew that anyway. But...
So wait a minute. So all that time I was away, did the stream just suddenly start by itself?
Yeah, apparently.
How did it do that? That's very odd. Yeah. So how long has it been going for?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 bloody minutes.
Yeah, about 8 or 9 minutes.
Right. Okay. That's very odd. Yeah, so I think I might as well just redo it again, even though you guys have already introduced yourselves.
Oh, I've not been introduced yet.
Oh, right. Well,
wait for Mike to come back and then do it. But I was going to do it after I've introduced you. But yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to Modeler's Corner. Sorry, I've been 10 minutes late. Just getting the last essential bits. Didn't realize I was running that late. So yeah, welcome to as I said, Modeler's Corner. We've got our usual panelists here. Panelists? Is this a game show or something? So with me here tonight, we've got Mr. Tom Biddle. Say hello, Tom.
Hello again. Hello, guys.
We got Mr. Gavin Rose.
He's good, isn't it?
We got Mr. Tom Jansky back with us once more.
Hello.
And tonight we've even got a new guest here, which is Mr. Luke Ryan, otherwise known as Explosive Cookie.
That's the wrong hand I'm waving.
Explode.
There you go, kaboom. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad he's come on. And of course, you know who I am. If you don't, there's a page on Wikipedia somewhere. But yeah, you know who I am. Anyway, yeah. So if you're new to Modeller's Corner, this is basically a live stream where basically I invite some friends over for a little live stream social gathering, and we just make models. So that's pretty much what we're going to do for the next 2 hours. So yeah, just before we get right down to things, what exactly are we building this evening? So Tom Biddle, we'll go with you first.
Well, I've already started. Well, for the last few weeks, I've not been able to do. I was start work on the Annie coach. As you can see, I put it together.
Lovely.
All I've got to do is add on some detail. So I've put on the I don't know if you can see that. I've put on the handrails and things. So I've done one side already. I've got to do the next side, and as well as that, add in the resin seats.
Nice one.
The interior.
Cool. Gavin, what are you working on tonight?
Percy.
He's painting a perky.
Version 1, based on Wilbur Audrey's.
Very blunt.
Nice.
One thing I would like to say is, on the last stream, I got the motor, the whole setup actually working. And then after the stream, I fine-tuned it, it was working better. And then I completely wrecked everything. I mean, literally everything. Made a big cock-up because the motor, one of the wires came loose, so I soldered it back on. But I put too much heat on it, zapped straight through, melted the plastic case of the motor, the brushes moved, it ran like a bag of poo. Then I tried to melt it back in position, completely killed it. Then I couldn't take the motor off the gearbox because it doesn't have a grub screw, it's one of these Loctite ones. So in my struggles, I wrecked the motor, the gearbox, and the chassis. So I'm starting again.
Oh dear.
Might as well paint the body.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're making some progress there. Tom Jensky, what are you working on tonight?
Well, I don't know. I was brought in at the last minute just to have a look at what I've been doing. I mean, I thought I'd just do a bit of work on my LMS fan, although I'm going to be sending that to someone else. So I'm just pottering around on that for a bit. If I get tired of doing that, I'll be doing a bit more work on Thomas, which is starting to look the part, especially now that I've got these faces off Jacob, which he's nicely painted up.
Yeah, if any guys don't have Twitter, Tom's been posting these faces up there, and they look really nice now. Jacob's done a fantastic job on those.
Flying Pringle, yeah.
Yeah, Flying Pringle on Twitter.
And check him out. He's a very talented guy. And so what I need to do, I mean, it's not a particularly, by all means, ask me questions, but it's not a particularly hard job. What I need to do is make a roof for the cab.
Okay.
Which is just going to be a case of cutting a piece of plastic.
Very simple enough.
Exhilarating.
Yes. And Luke, what are you going to be working on?
Right, I'm making. If I can get it in camera, there we are. It's one arch here. I'm making the Rheneas viaduct on the Scarlory Railway, based on the Dolgor viaduct.
Okay.
So it's an approximation. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but I'm modelling the Scarlory, not the Talith, so I can get away with it.
009, is it?
009, yeah. That's my main modelling scale for all my Scarlory bits and bobs. Just so, because I'm using a ratio viaduct, N-gauge viaduct kit at the minute, and it's not 100% obviously like the way I want it. So I'm currently trimming down. These are the side supports that will end up going here to hold up the bridge, and I'm just making them a bit thinner so they match the viaducts, because there are certain bits where I'm going to kit bash around to make it a bit more like the real thing. But yeah.
Cool. For me now, I'm going to be working on a prop, a little item which is going to feature somewhere in Branchline Engines, and it's a grounded coach kit from Ratio. This may be a little Easter egg somewhere. We'll see. Might be referencing maybe one of Chris Roger's books. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to have a go at making this tonight. So that's that's the models we're going to be working on tonight. So sit back and enjoy the banter.
Yay!
No.
Talking of ground bodies, Mike, when you get the kits, do you ever get tempted to make them ready to run, or
grounded bodies?
Yeah.
This is actually my first one. Actually, the ones I actually had before was just like actual wagon kits. Actually, recent one I made up was hang on.
I've
Was this
tried.
here?
I've tried making one of those ratio grounded body kits as a ready to run a few years ago, and I didn't have a good time. But probably because I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Yeah, so that's my coach there. So yeah, it's just I'm just it's not going to be based off. It's not going to be representing Victoria or anything. It's just going to be just a standard coach or something that's just going to appear somewhere in the backdrop somewhere.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've ordered off another one of these here as well, just so I can make it like have a pair of them, and they're going to be coupled together with like Smith's couplings.
Oh, that'd be
Very
lovely.
nice.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. So,
So, speaking of turning grounded body kits, this is just going off on a little tangent here. This was a grounded body kit that came with a British BRM mag. This little wagon here, but I just happen to have some axles, like side white metal cast parts that fit the length of the van exactly. And some buffers and stuff. So that was a grounded van kit. It's not finished, obviously, but yeah, like you can do it if you've got the right bits and bobs about. I've just found bits I was looking for the other day. They're inside the van. This is what I do. I end up putting all my bits in trucks and vans and then forget where they are.
you know what? You're not the only one. Look, see that
Hey.
I'm doing the same thing.
I've got 3 wagons full of just little bits and
You
bobs.
always find it.
Also in here as well. Like I'm putting stuff in.
Yeah, I think we're all the same. I think I've probably bought way too many buffers and couplings and hooks over the years, thinking I've lost them or didn't buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find that there was a whole load of them hiding inside a wagon. It feels like I win the lottery when I find them.
Oh yeah, but then you do realise, shit.
Well, it's true. I've spent all that money, but at the same time, I think, well, I'm going to use them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's not a waste of money by any means.
What's the old phrase? You can never have too many trains.
It is all down to like if you know what you're doing, and it's always best to have some spares. Like I mean, this wagon here was a grand body kit.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of various parts. The reason it's called the oddball wagon is because it's got like the E2 buffers. It's got Tom Jedski's roof vents.
Oh, okay. You put them on that. That's
yeah. And it's got W irons and everything really.
I'm surprised you put those vents on there because they're meant more of a sort of a coach style vent than a wagon one. But
and I hope the same with this one here, the one that I was working on last Waddler's Corner. Unfortunately, when I went to the exhibition, I couldn't find any W irons, so.
Well, that's a shame.
But I managed to find more solder.
Well, that's good then.
And liquid flux.
I like it here that this kit actually comes with a free headlamp as well, a tail lamp. Because I mean, it's using the same.
It's using the same mold as their ready to run ones essentially.
Yeah,
all the little kits.
Yeah, get more lamps for now for my engines. That'd be cool.
That's always one thing that I do find desperately missed on a lot of just kind of like in general, just in a lot of videos. It's just like lamps and head codes.
Yeah,
it's such a minor detail, and like I don't mind if people don't do it, but I always like to get it in there because I know it'll bug me otherwise.
Yeah.
Come on. Snap off.
So what did you guys get up to this week?
Today I was away at the studio doing some more recording lines for Pablo, so that was all good and fun.
Oh, lovely.
Had to do some pickups they need me to do. Then
just to remind the viewers, pickups are just
like redoing lines.
Yeah.
Or ones you missed last time. So, because in case nobody knows, I'm also a voice actor for children's television as well as a writer. So that's all.
When you
fingers in all the pies.
Right.
When you do all the voice acting and things, do you have to go to London for that? Do you do it in Dublin?
No, I do it at the
It wouldn't have done it in London today, though.
No, I mean, I know I did like a 1-day trip to London. And I was like, flip me, that really exhausted me. Trying to race to the flight gate not there. But no, I don't go to London for any voice acting out there. I basically just go to this recording, the actual studio where they make Pablo, and they have a little room on the top floor where they made up their own little recording booth, and that's where I record the lines.
Surprised there isn't a way you can do it over Skype or something.
Well, yeah, there actually was a time when we had to do like I think this was something from I forgot what it was. CBeebies asked us to do something. So it was for like a video that for some event that CBeebies were doing a thing on. They had Pablo involved, but they didn't have time to get us to come up to the studio. So they said, "Would you be able to do this at home?" And so I recorded Tang's lines right here, actually using this microphone.
Wow,
So
that microphone would be an interesting piece of memorabilia one day. Hang on to it.
I mean, it's only a what's it called? A newer based shotgun mic. So it's not really.
I mean, it's convenient that you had that kind of equipment. Not every actor would have a microphone on tap.
Well, I only bought it on a student budget. Like, I mean, it was only like, what was it, £24 on Amazon?
I've now hit that little boring part where I can't do anything. Just wait for it to half dry.
Yeah. You can always talk to us.
I can show these, I suppose. With the scratch building some crossheads and slide bars. The actual whole setup. So, it's oblong. It should be square, but never mind. But not that big going.
Oh yeah.
It's obviously in preparation for when I build the next chassis from the bug of the first one.
Was your chassis 3D printed?
Yeah. The reason I bugged it is because I couldn't get the motor off the gearbox. So I couldn't get the actual drive gear off the axle because it was Loctited in.
So how strong are they, the 3D printed ones?
Well, not that strong because it's resin. I mean, obviously, resin's brittle, but you just take it okay, you can get away with it.
It's kind of brittle that will crack rather than bend.
Well, it bends a little bit, but it's like most resin, it bend a bit, then it goes ping. You know. I mean, ultimately, I want to be able to do the chassis in like a brass or nickel silver, but I don't really want to go the etching route. I don't yet know how to do etching, but I've got a different idea. I want to do something different.
Well, I get the principle of etching and laser cutting, and out of brass, but it's so expensive to do something like a frame. I mean, I think I got a quote and it was about £100, and they do a few sheets for you, but you have to sort of, if you just want a set of frames cut, it's not really. That's sort of their lowest quote. So I don't know.
It depends on scale as well, though. I mean, doing gauge 1, it's going to be more.
Well, no. Like I said, they said they'd do a few sheets for that cost, but when you've only got one frame, I mean, that's barely a half of an A4 sheet. So you really would have to go there with like a whole bunch of things that you need cut. Otherwise, it's not really that economic.
I mean, another thing is obviously one of the really old ways of doing it was to mill them, and I'm interested in milling my own chassis, but in a slightly different way because obviously these little movement pieces I showed you before, the bearings can move. If I can get them done in metal, that'll be ideal.
Well, yeah, the original ones on the TV show were milled, I believe, BMP.
Yeah.
So, I imagine that would be quite an expensive process in itself. But,
so at the moment I'm using the resin because it's a way that I can get them made and built. But it's more of a temporary thing. Ultimately, I want to be able to get a metal version on the go.
All right, so give me some questions out. That's not a question, is it? Sorry, no.
I have to admit, I've got the live chat right in front of me on my phone.
All right.
But it's you that's going to be doing the reading them out, or the question.
Well, each of us can read a question if we want to, like so.
Down Dan Hornby's asked a question. Sorry, not for everybody.
All right.
Have you ever wanted or considered building a vanishing point diorama to any of the layouts you have or intend to build?
What
So
machine?
I think
I'm-
as in vanishing point is in like the models disappear.
Yeah,
Also.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not too sure though, because I think Vanishing Point's a TV show.
well, the thing is though, on your Farquhar track, Mike, isn't the bit where the loop that goes behind the station, isn't that a vanishing point?
Yeah, it's kind of like an illusion thing where it's meant to show like the trains are going somewhere, and then they.
Oh, would it be like just like putting things in the foreground? So when they
Yeah. So like then after a
View
while
blocker.
it appears again with a different train.
I know it's a view blocker. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the principle you apply anyway if you can.
It's fun. I really do appreciate those kind of models. I just feel like it gives us the illusion of this is going to go somewhere, or makes us wonder where's it going, kind of thing.
Yeah, the next layout I'm working on at the moment that is going to have essentially that in the corners, like at each end. It will go off into like a hidden fiddle yard, so then the train can go out, and then you can just send another one back out, and it looks like it's travelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know most of you guys you like basing it on an interpretation of Audrey, but I'd love to do one day in 00 of a real station. Because although I like making comic models, I would like to do a very serious sort of British.
Serious.
Well, serious.
That word.
Serious.
No, I know.
The serious modelers would call it.
No, yeah. I've always got ideas about what I'd like to do, and I think if I was ever going to do like a completely real layout based on a real place, it'd probably be like my local station, probably the sheds back in Lancashire and Yorkshire and London North Western Railway days.
Is it
All
still
right.
standing?
Pardon, sorry?
Is the station still standing?
Oh yeah, it's still there now. Preston Station. So it used to be 13 platforms, and now it's only 6.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
So it's been chopped down a fair old bit.
Well, the thing is, living in London, I've got railways all over the place. So the big question is which one? I mean, I could do my local station. I mean, that would be quite an easy one in the sense that I don't have to go very far to get the reference material. I mean, they'll probably call security if I turn up with a big tape measure though to measure up the building. But, they did happen once. There was an old chap that I knew at a model club, and he said he measured up Westerham Station, which is on one of the closed branch lines, and he measured it up in 1960 or something. And he said, they thought they wanted to call security even back then because they thought he was crazy. But as it happens, the drawing I think was eventually published in the Railway magazine, and happens to be the probably the definitive drawing of this, since demolished railway station. But yeah, I'd like to do Norwood Junction. I don't know if any of you know where that is. It's in South London, but it had a loco shed for mostly for freight, and it had a freight marshalling yard on the other side. It was being southern region. It had electric and steam, and then eventually diesel.
I really liked your platform, actually, Tom.
Sorry?
When I came to yours on last Sunday, I really liked your platform. I kept thinking it's a great place to take some pictures if you had more people there or something, or if you did like a photo shoot. Yeah.
Oh, what platform is this? The one, my local station.
Yeah, where? Like
that was Penji, so that's another one of my local stations. And thankfully it's listed, so hopefully they don't try and pull it down. But yeah, on the former route of the Golden Arrow and all the Kent Express trains. But yeah, they don't get very much steam these days. I mean, there's these steam rail trips, especially out to Kent, where it's sort of commuter district. That they. I was on a trip once, a steam trip, where the engine failed. Well, it got stuck on a hill, and it didn't have a diesel to push it up. So, and it was bad weather. So they were all congratulating themselves that about an hour and a half later, they actually managed to get to the top. But at the same time, they'd caused an hour and a half of delays to all the modern electric trains. And by the time they did get to the top, they were running low on water. So they had to stop for another hour at Dover, I think. And they couldn't get water from the mains cover on the platform because contractors have recently got resurfaced the platform, and they'd actually concreted over the water cover.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So they had to get a hose and they had to put it all the way over the footbridge, just from one side to the other. And the pressure was so weak, so they ended up getting the fire brigade to top them up. But that trip was quite amusing. We were meant to be 3 hours ahead of another steam trip on the same day, a Tornado, and we were on another engine. And so it would have been quite.
What engine was it, for chance? Sorry.
Tangmere.
Oh, bloody.
Well, for those that don't know, it looks just like Rebecca, except it's in its authentic green color. But yeah, it was and then as a result, Tornado overtook us because we were 3 hours late. So we were unexpectedly in the station waiting for them to fill up the water, and this Tornado comes speeding past with a loud whistle, just to sort of like, hey, we can see you. We see you broken down.
Yeah, Bruce Snopes.
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, we had a nice speedy run back, and it was night time. It was in November, I think. Armistice Day, actually. So yeah, it's October, I think. So yeah, we had a nice speedy run back up to London, but then when we got as far as sorry if I'm boring you with this story, but it's interesting.
No.
When we got back up to I think it was Sevenoaks. Or no, it was past Sevenoaks. It was Chelsfield. And there's two lines. There's two lines that branch off at Sevenoaks. And apparently this engine, Tangmere, was only gauged to go via Bat and Ball, not via Orpington. And the driver, who thankfully was rather switched on, I knew him for a while, he realised that they'd switched him on the faster route via Orpington because they thought, oh, well, they're late enough, let's just send them back by the fast route. But the problem was the engine wasn't gauged to go via Orpington. It was too big. So having had 3.5 to 4 hours of delays,
Had to stop again.
We're stuck at Chelsfield while they get some of the engine on the line side telephone, because of course you wonder what they're for these days because they have radios. But yeah, he went on the line side telephone and the signal went back to red, and eventually they got clearance that the engine could proceed at like 10 miles an hour for the next 5 miles. And then when we got to Bickley Junction, we had, which is after the end of that 10 miles, there was a signal failure. And they kicked us all off at Bromley because we just had so many problems. We're 5.5 hours late, and it was quite an adventure. But after that, I think they ruled that they didn't want steam in Kent because it was too much of a risk. But I think it was a shame because I think it was a case in that trip where everything just went wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
it doesn't help with Tangmere's record of SPAD.
Okay.
I'll tell you what actually caused it all. They covered it all up. The reason that it got stuck on the hill was because they didn't actually leave the station with any real speed, because there was a guy on the platform who they got off. The train was 5 minutes late at Deal, and they were supposed to get off like a 10-minute photo stop, but we were already 5 minutes late. So as soon as we got off, they called everyone straight back on again. It was like miscommunication.
Okay.
We get a nice wide angle of the train on the other side, and all of a sudden the train starts leaving without him, which he was on.
No.
So he starts racing after it, like saying, stop the train for, as it starts to move. And the guard's leaning out the window saying, no, you didn't get on in time, go away, And the driver's leaning out saying, oh, who's this guy chasing after the train? So they went so slowly. I mean, the guy could have jumped back on, but he didn't. But they went out so slowly that they weren't able to sort of attack the hill. So, that's what caused 5.5 hours of delay, was leaving this one guy behind. They don't tell you that in the Network Rail reports.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that.
That's all right.
No,
Question.
don't apologise. It's interesting.
So, question for sorry, change subject. Question for Gavin.
Yep.
What colour brand are you using for the Percy paint? And question for me: did you find the reason of this mismatch height of cab and boiler on Thomas? Not yet. No. I'm gonna cut the plates down.
Can I get the camera 2 seconds?
Hold on. Yeah.
Using this one. Tamiya acrylic paint, Park Green X28. Although I must caution you, the reason I'm brush painting it, I got that on me. I also brought the can of spray, and it's a completely different colour. It shouldn't be, but it is. So that's why I'm brush painting it.
Someone eating?
Hey?
I can hear munching. Someone eating?
Yeah, I'm having a biscuit.
Oh,
Nom nom nom. Explosion.
Don't worry. Yeah, that brings up. That's good. That's a good call. There. I've got some traditional foodstuffs here.
it's really great. I'm making snacks here.
Yeah. So I've got like
Modeler fuel.
yeah. So I've got some Belvita breakfast biggies, even though it's little tea time, and 2 Milky Way crispy rolls. Used to love these when I was a kid.
Gorgeous. I've got.
I love these things.
some,
These are my favorite when I was a kid.
Milky Ways are gorgeous.
Oh, I.
I've got myself some Fox's Crunch creams.
Oh.
Oh, that's my
Got-
favourite. Uni.
And what's
Oh,
down
Crunch
here?
Crunch.
Same as last time. I'm gonna have some Magners Dark Fruit.
Whereas I've just got a boring water bottle.
The alcohol. I didn't realise this was alcohol fuel. I've got myself some Fanta fruit twists.
I've got some Coca-Cola.
I've got some Hoji Cha tea. If that makes any sense to anybody. This one.
Where's some
I
bacon? And
usually put it in loose, but I actually eat it because I'm a weird bugger. But get more benefit then.
Where's some bacon sandwiches when you need them?
I've got bacon in my fridge.
I came as quick as I could. The bacon sandwich alarm went off. It's going wild. Listen to it.
So that's where you were for 10 minutes.
You someone mention bacon sandwiches? Oh yes.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you do that with your mouth?
Sorry.
Did you just do that with your mouth?
Yeah.
It was me.
Oh,
Yeah, but I did as well. I did.
that's what I do.
Both did.
That's what I do when I. That's what I do sometimes when I just like
Need a bacon sandwich.
when I.
That's his bacon sandwich call.
That's when I reenact it. That little line. I do that. I go.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Was it?
No, I just use my tongue.
Oh,
Just click with my tongue.
Hey, Michael, you have to do your impression of the Thomas and the Magic Railroad sound effects.
Oh, I think I did that last time, didn't I?
Did you? Oh, you did it. You did it to me once. I can't remember whether we were live or not.
Maybe it was. Hang on, I'll do
I have
it.
to say, it's uncanny. It's uncanny.
Yeah, so I don't know if Luke heard this or not, but basically,
No.
since Magic Railroad came out, I actually did this very good impression of a steam train noise. I actually mimicked the actual chuffing noises that Thomas makes in the film because I loved it. I thought it was a really good sound effect. And so to do this is basically what I do is I actually make a small hole with my mouth, and then I actually blow up my right nostril.
Of course.
As you do, but what you must do first of all is to make sure your nose is clean before you do that, because if it's not, then it's going to be a very...
It'll ruin the effect.
it'll basically be you'll end up having like waters in the drain cocks. Someone's making a bacon sandwich somewhere. But anyway, this is basically how I do this. This is basically how I sound like when I make this train noise. So this is it with like drain cocks hissing out and steam chuffing around. So it takes quite a long window.
That's too bloody good.
I'm still mate. That's like so. If you can do that, you should be able to beatbox.
So if I was mimicking like the Thomas sound effects, so like say the sound you hear in the album, so you have Thomas passing the camera, so you just go like,
Oh God.
that's what I do.
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this how you're going to do all the sound effects for Branchline Engines?
Well, there will be, if I can't find the sound effect I'm looking for, then yes, I will actually imitate the sound effects if needed. But there is some, there are going to be some sound effects which actually I'm going to record, like real life sound effects, like Foley and all that there stuff. So it'll be good fun.
So you're going to go to some railways and record some sound, are you?
I did actually. I actually went to when I went up to see the Tugs in August last year. Me and Daniel Long went off with a group of friends out there, and we went over to the scrapyard section or the old sidings at Swanwick Junction, where the old Scruffy wagon is, and we basically were there to see watch the train go by because it was a good spot to see from. And then I looked over, I saw the truck stand. I thought to myself, this is actually a good place to actually record some sound effects. So I said to Dan, "Okay, Dan, could you help me record the sound effect here? Because I want to get some sound effects of some couplings." So yeah, we did that there. So Dan filmed the sound effect for me. I got the coupling, I took it off. That was fine. Dan says, "Okay, put it back on again." I lift the coupling up, and I got my fingers caught in the chain, and
it hurts so much, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It does. So there is a video of it. I do have it on YouTube, but it's unlisted at the minute. But I will release it there once Brass Sciences is finished. But
yeah, I've had the misfortune of doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's subtitled. This video is subtitled now as well because you have to hear. There's people talking in the background, but you hear me lifting the coupling, then you hear me swear as I drop the coupling. To which Dan says, "Are your fingers all right?" And I just go like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then somebody in our group just goes, "Is it heavy?" Now I don't know who it was. But I just wrote down smart ass in the background. Is it heavy? To which point me and Dan just turn around and go, "No, it's light as a feather. What do you think?"
I bet if you try picking up a Buckeye coupling, they're bloody heavy.
Oh.
Comparing the pain though, what's more painful, the coupling or having biscuits thrown at your head?
What?
Well, actually, the coupling was actually more painful because the biscuits one there, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt for that long, really. But my fingers kept hurting for a couple of half an hour or so afterwards. But for the biscuit in my nose, that only hurt for 10 minutes. So.
Have any of you tripped over and your knees hit the top of the rail?
No.
I've made sure to not do that.
I know, but it happened to me once, unfortunately, and bloody hell, that was painful.
I'll tell you what, I hate vacuum pipes, brand new vacuum pipes. Old ones, brand new ones, I hate.
Well, they're too tight, they haven't got the flex in them.
Yeah, so stiff, they're just so awkward to couple together, and I hate them. I much prefer an old worn out vac pipe simply because it's slightly more flexible.
Yeah.
We're talking about trains, by the way, guys.
Just in case any of you weirdos at home are actually thinking of something weird.
Yeah.
We don't go for this sort of content on this channel, mate.
Yeah.
Folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did do a shunting course once, but it was I started university around the same time, so by the time I started becoming a cleaner on the engine, and they were expecting me to drive 2 hours and get there at 6 in the morning for a shift, and I was at uni 5 days a week, and I just thought to myself, God, get up at 4 o'clock on a Saturday.
Which line's this? Sorry,
Midhants Railway.
Oh yeah.
To go drive for 2 hours to get there for 6, and then do a day on the footplate, finish at 6 p.m. and then 2 hours driving back. I mean, I just thought, I can't do this. I can't.
Yeah, I've been I've just done my last submission for my second year at uni today, actually.
Oh.
But yeah, trying to pace that with also railway stuff is a pain.
Yeah.
Well, as a filmmaker, I eventually realised that I could,
After what? Sorry.
After studying filmmaking, I realised that I probably.
Oh, that's what I'm doing as well.
I thought I'd be better off just filming trains rather than working on them.
I'm still going at the whole working side myself.
I mean, I've meant to do it someday, but living in London, I mean, it's a wonderful city. I'm no complaints, but we haven't got any real heritage railways in my neck of the woods that are very easy to get to. I envy all those people who volunteer at heritage lines and they literally live next door to the station.
Well, actually,
that's essentially me.
I actually live next door to what was the site of an old railway station on an old branch line, but
oh, lovely.
it was the station that my great grandfather worked as a station master. And then my grandfather was the signalman of that line. So,
wow, have you thought of writing a story about that?
Someday I might like to do a talk about.
Have you ever been tempted with those disused railway lines to get like a little track trolley and just go for a ride down the track?
I've seen some people do that before.
I mean, I know it's technically illegal, but if there's no trains on the tracks.
Well, I don't risk it on my line because they still use the line for operation for like drivers' lessons and that there.
Oh, well, at least it's still being used, I guess. But
yeah,
I think it's a shame when they just completely, mothball these railways and just don't use them. They all get overgrown and.
Yeah, but I still do. I still, when I want to write, whenever time I want to write railway stories, I either work on a Thomas story for work or maybe miniature railway adventures if the enthusiasm comes back. But it's slowly gone. It's slowly worn off of me a wee bit there. But I mean, I'm halfway through writing a novel of a featured novel on the stories, which I began working last year on, and I mean to get through it, actually get it done. It should be at that stage now where I should have it finished, but I just didn't have the enthusiasm.
Little question, Michael.
Go for it.
Being honest about it, do you think some of the enthusiasm lack is because there's a lack of comments on it? That is always a bit of a motivation killer.
Yeah, because I mean, it didn't. The stories didn't start off. They weren't really all that grip that's noticeable. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like Simon Martin's British Railway Stories or Railways of Sodor or all these other railway themed episodes, but this series is. But it was just something I just wanted to try something else, like a different railway series. But maybe not like looking at the engines in particular, but what's the stories from the crew's point of view.
Well, I've always thought, because I got into the niche of making documentaries lately.
All right.
I mean, I've thought years ago, I thought we should really interview some of these drivers before they, pass away. I mean, a lot of
definitely.
A lot of them have written books, but to actually hear them from their own words, I think maybe I've left it a bit too late. Because to have driven a steam train in 1968 even, you'd be at least, 30, and that's 50. So, yeah, you'd have to be in your 80s now to have even just been there at the very end.
Yeah.
I heard a really lovely story of a couple of guys who were on shed at Lostock Hall on the last day of steam.
Yeah, I saw the film. It was a BBC film, I think.
Because Lostock Hall is quite near me.
Luke, your camera's off, just so you know.
Oh no, has it?
Yeah, it's gone black on you at our end.
Oh, bugger. Does that come back on?
No, I think it's disconnected or something.
Maybe you press the camera button off.
It's still on my end, so I'll turn it off and put it back on.
Okay.
Turn off and on.
Sorry, but yeah. So is that better?
Yeah, you're back.
So the guys making.
So Lostock Hall's quite near me, but I was talking to people who were on shed the last day, and they were saying after the last steam loco got back on shed, the last one that was on shed, what they did, they found the biggest lump of coal, tied it to the whistle chain, and just left it whistling out into the night to run out of steam.
Wow.
Which is a very, very bittersweet end, I think.
It's funny you should say that. I've actually got one of the signal box instruments from Lostock Hall, I believe.
Oh, bloody hell. Give it back.
No. I don't. It has Bamber Bridge written on it, but I think it's the communicator. Yeah,
Bamber Bridge is near that area.
Yeah, the next.
These are all very recognisable location names.
The next. So yeah, for many years I assumed it was from Bamber Bridge, but it's evidently not. It's got the little brass plate that says Bamber Bridge, but it's
obviously the lever that sent it over to Bamber Bridge.
So I'd like to think it was from Lostock Hall and not the other signal box in the opposite direction. Because Lostock Hall's got that sort of fame with the being the last
steam. Yeah.
But, I was amused years ago. There was a Great Central Railway did a gala honouring the sort of 1968 Lostock Hall and reunited some of the engines. and they called it Lost Stock and a Few Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
And I thought that's one of the best puns you could ever come up with.
I think we've been asked like what we've been worked on, so I think we've got to the point where it might be good to have a little refresher for people who might have joined since.
Just got a little question. Little comment from the guys making the Gauge One Henry.
I
Got new updates on Henry. I'll be putting them up as soon as That's cool. Yeah.
awesome.
That was Zanfira, I think.
Yeah, Joss. Yeah.
Then Ferrer. Can't say his name.
Yeah, but yeah. So shall we just go over what we're all working on again, just for any new people who have joined?
Yeah. So for me, I'm currently working on a item for Brown Sciences, which is going to be a grounded coach body. It's going to make an appearance somewhere in the film, so have to keep an eye out there. Tom, Biddle, you're working on.
I'm just working on details for Annie.
Okay. Gavin.
Green Goblin version 1 / Percy, pretty much. Unless you paint a different colour.
Lovely. Tom Jinsky.
It's just me horsing around trying to cut a cab roof, or rather the inner cab piece and then the cab roof.
Okay, and Luke.
The Rheneas viaduct on the Skylowy Railway.
Awesome.
So,
I'm
Mike,
currently finishing the second arch of.
Mike,
Yes.
you said that was it your granddad or your uncle was working on the railway station next to you?
It was my great grandfather. I don't know him. I never met him. So
No. But do you ever keep any of his memorabilia or any of his?
yes, I do actually. I do have some memorabilia. I actually do from the old station. I actually have the parcels weight
Oh right.
from the booking office. So
Excellent. Can't go wrong with them.
yeah, so it needs to be restored actually because it's like severely rusted, but it still works though. But it needs to be repainted again back into I think it was green originally.
Ah, shit! Sorry.
All right, no worries.
A piece of the kit broke.
That's easy.
It stuck to my fingers, and then the end that stuck to my finger broke off.
Oh,
Wonderful. Well done, me.
well, my bad luck, mate.
It's fine. It should just glue back on there. So
Just a word of warning to any young viewers who just come into.
yeah, apologies for the.
Yeah, there might be some
language
swearing coming in here. So, yeah, just notice in the chat there. Patrick Savage just says, "When is Brown Sciences coming out, Mike?" People are actually thinking that Brown Sciences is coming out this summer. It's not. It's still in a work in progress here. There's still a lot of stuff needs to be made for it. So, I'd say probably it might come out maybe 2 or 3 years time. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff needs to be done for it. So
you're putting a lot of care and attention into it.
Yeah, because I mean,
as an insider, I can say it's definitely going to be worth the wait.
Yeah, because definitely. Because
yeah.
I mean, I've shown some of these guys here in the chat here. They've seen some of the works that's going into Brown Sciences, and yeah.
Let's put it this way: for those of you who like the Railways of Sodor, well, when this comes out, the Railways of Sodor is going to look like a bag of poo in comparison.
Don't say that.
Nah, I'm being honest. So I'm just trying to let people know. That's why it's taking a while, because it's going to be good.
You just need to make regular videos, Gav. That's all.
Eh?
You just need to keep making regular videos.
Yeah, I'm busy doing everything. I can't do everything at once. Although there's going to be another Tros video out.
Yeah.
Before the next layout, which wasn't going to happen, but it is now.
I mean, I'd like to do a Gauge 1 video someday, but I've got absolutely no deadlines on it. I'd much rather have the satisfaction of getting it right rather than just, racing it out.
I've got something I'm working on which I do want to have out this year, but it's probably going to be next year, realistically.
Yeah.
Well, I've said that for the past 10 years, so.
Yeah.
I'd like to have there's a video I've got planned in my head that I'd like to do as like a sort of when I've got Thomas and Annie Glover finished, I might make a start making it, but
don't tell them what it is though, because otherwise I'll steal the idea.
And that is why I've not mentioned anything about what I'm doing. No,
I'm guessing it's narrow gauge related.
It might be.
How did you know?
It might be. It might not be, because I do also have locos like this hanging about. So, like, it could be anything to do with these.
Stop teasing us, please.
The little minds will be able to take it.
Yeah, so it could be with that, but who knows? No, I just don't like announcing stuff until I know it's going to be done, so no one can
I'm like that.
hold me accountable.
Don't make promises you can't keep, guys.
Well, it's not just that I don't like making announcements until I've actually finished a film, which is not very good because when you need investors and
oh god, yeah.
I need a publicist. No, seriously, guys, I need a publicist here to promote my next film. But I'm not saying what it is, though. Some of you probably know about it, but I probably shouldn't say what it is yet.
Right, so that's 2 archers.
But my film will be done in November, though.
Cool.
It's too much.
But
Well, it will be. Don't worry. I've already got a lot of stuff planned. That's the thing. I've planned the bloody premiere before I've planned the film being finished. So a lot of money riding on it.
Funny, I actually when I was doing my final year stop motion film for university, called Some Assembly Required, it was all filmed around a music track that my dad came across on the way home from work, and it was a tune called Coultergeist. It was done by a guy called Phil Coulter. And he's a very well known music artist in Northern Ireland, and so I chose it there because it had clever ways of like stopping the tune at the right moments to leave enough time for like any comedic slapstick to happen. So I pretty much spent all the time working on this track here, and because I had in my mind that because this is going to be a student's film, like copyright doesn't affect it, as like that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it's for educational purposes, you can use.
Yeah.
But if you were say to release it out, you would obviously have to get.
Yeah.
So
that's what I had in my mind for the whole time. So when I was showing my tutor asked me to bring it in to see what way it was looking. So I showed him what I had. I told him that he asked me what the music track was. I said, "Oh, it's Coultergeist by Phil Coulter. We're using this here. This is going to be the main soundtrack for the film." He says, "Right, have you got copyright permission to use that there?" And I says, "Well, no, because it's for educational purpose. It's not for it's not going to be shown to the public." He says, "Well, it is." And I says, "What?" He says, "Yeah, it's going to appear at the end of your show. So you'll need to get either get permission from the right artists, the copyright holders, or choose a different soundtrack altogether." So,
but you'd base the whole thing around it.
Yeah. So I mean, and we couldn't use a different track because this one worked so well, and so we tried everything. We tried contacting the rights holder, but they wouldn't reply. They didn't reply to our calls or emails.
Unless they see lots of money, they don't usually reply. Yeah.
Yeah. But then one of my uncle, who actually composed the theme song for Miniature Railway Adventures, stepped in and he says, "Yeah, sure, I can do a backup track if you need it." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's fine." And so he sent me what he had done, and basically it was just a 10-minute loop of the same beat that only lasted 3 seconds. Like a 3-second beat, and it was looped for about 10 minutes. And I was like, "No, this can't work. This is awful." I was like, "Where was that nice Miniature Railway Adventure type style that we had before?" And I was like, "I have to try something else." So we tried again to get contact with the rights holder, and then finally somebody answered the phone, and I explained to them what it was that we were doing, and so he says, "Yeah, sure, we'll pass your word on to somebody who would get back to you on this here." And so we told him what my email and all was, and so yeah, that was all fine. Half an hour later, I get a private email from Phil Coulter himself, the actual artist, saying, "Yeah, here, I hear you're looking to use my tune for your animation project. Is that right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's right." And he says, "Well, sure, I'm more than happy to give you the permission to use it there, so long as you pay your fee." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. What's the fee?" He says, "Well, I'm not looking money. I'm actually looking for a copy of the finished product."
Oh.
So I was like, my God, that's so sweet of you. And I was like, well, it's nearly finished though. So yeah, once it's finished, I'll send you a copy before I submit it. And so that's what I did. So that was my payment for using the copyrighted music.
That's
was
really
just
nice
to
of him.
Yeah, it was to give him a free copy of a complimentary copy of the final animation.
But there was a bombshell there, wasn't there?
Eh?
There was a bombshell to that story, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. When it came to the final review of that coursework, I was sent in. I had to come in, and I was doing my advantages and disadvantages in front of my tutors, and I says, the disadvantages I had there was basically I had a lot of trouble trying to get hold of the copyright holder to get permission to use the soundtrack. And I says, I managed to get hold of Phil Coulter. It wasn't easy, but I managed to get hold of him in the end to get permission.
Sorry, Mike.
To which my tutors then says, sorry, let's only a second here, but to which my tutors then says, well, sure, why did you not ask us here? Because we know Phil Coulter. He's a good friend of ours. And I was like, what?
Oh.
He's like, yeah. He's like, why did you not ask us here in the first place? Anyway, sure, we could have got your contacts from him. And I was like, well, why did you not tell me in the first place? I was like, you guys left me like a huge amount of stress for like 3 weeks. I was like, why did you not tell me in the first place? He's like, well, you never asked. I was like, well, you never mentioned it to me. I would have, if you'd mentioned it to me, I would have gladly asked. Anyway, I got first class honors anyway for that project, so at least there was some good that came out of it in the end.
Right. So what I'm basically doing here is I've just put all the handrails on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's it. That's handrails finished. Now I've just got to put in the seats, and then when I eventually find the plastic axle boxes, I can do the W lines and all that sort of thing. Don't know if anyone can see that. It's all finished.
So
lovely stuff.
What glue do you use for plastic kits?
Oh, is that a question for me?
Oh, for all of us, I think. Well, I'm using Hombro liquid poly, and also if I need the plastic to dry very quickly, I'm using industrial grade Everbuild super glue with some activator as well.
I use something different. I like to use Slater's Mech Pack and butanone. That's like another liquid sort of glue.
I use Javis. I don't know if it's a brand you can get online, but I get it at my local model shop. Javis Sio adhesive glue for any plastic kits I do. It like welds pretty instant, so you got to be quick.
I didn't know Javis actually did glues.
No, I didn't know. I thought I'd just seen it.
Yeah, their Siri. I love their Siri products. They're brilliant.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, no, Javis. I've been using it for God knows how long now.
It's a good choice.
I use two-part epoxy resin, so that's one of it. I can't find the other one.
Oh well.
I find what I use. I'm just looking on my shelf here. It seems to. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. It's EMA Plastic Weld.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good. It's like water just evaporates, so it doesn't have any big glue marks like super glue. Other adhesives, and it more or less melts the plastic together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this does.
Yeah, and liquid poly as well. It does the same thing.
It's probably the same thing, just under a different label.
Here we are. Sorry, it's both parts. So you got these two. I'm actually about to use them now.
Right.
It take about 5 minutes to dry. And the hope for it is to.
What was that?
You all right?
Yeah, just a bit I was cutting off just pinged off into the unknown.
The unknown.
Well,
Yeah,
really.
thankfully it's the
Sacrificed it
bit.
to the
Thankfully,
carpet,
it's the bit. It's the bit that I didn't need, so it doesn't matter.
So long as the bit that you don't need, it doesn't matter at all.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so everybody's happy. Except Theresa May, but that's a different story altogether.
Oh,
Didn't think I was going to mention that.
Theresa May, good riddance.
Well, she hung on a long time, I must say.
I saw her last year, actually, funny enough, in a shop in Henley.
Oh, you
Alright.
saw her?
Yeah, I well, it was quite funny. I was actually doing a film with some friends,
All right.
It went into a Costa Coffee, I think it was, or was it Starbucks? Whatever. The actress and our sound girl was inside the shop, so was inside the coffee shop on the back. So I sort of said to him, "Hey, yeah, we're just at the front. We're just at the front. When you're ready." And then I go to the front of the Starbucks, and in the shop window is Theresa May and her husband just having quite a coffee.
All right.
Or actually in the shop window.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah. No,
Talk about advertising.
no security or anything.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was at East Croydon once, and I was just coming out from uni, and sitting down at a bench, and I looked to the right of me and looked up at this guy standing next to me, and it was Jeremy Corbyn.
Right.
And I thought, oh, okay, where have I seen you before? Oh, yeah, you're that guy, that old guy. Because I know, through my railway connections, inevitably one knows a lot of old guys when you're into railways.
Good old guy.
Old blokes who, into steam trains and things like that. So, yeah, it took me a moment to realise it was him.
And to be fair, Jeremy Corbyn is an old guy who does like railways.
Yeah.
But he wants to nationalise them, does he?
All I know is that he's interested. He buys like Railway Mag, I think. So.
Well.
Oh right, well, I mean that's more of the politicians' railway magazine. If he bought Steam Railway, I'd feel a bit different.
That actually reminds me now. I want to talk about this research here now. I actually was thinking about going to talk about this. As some of you would have seen online last week, there was a incident that took place at a planned model railway exhibition.
Oh God!
Yeah. So, as you would know, like vandals had broken into a model railway show, which was taking place at a school, and pretty much trashed the entire exhibit. They toppled over the stalls, toppled over the layers that cost thousands of pounds worth of time and materials, and yeah, it was a really, really sad loss. I mean, they said those who were taking part in the show were just devastated to see all their hard work getting destroyed in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, sorry.
And so somebody had on that day actually set up it was like a GoFundMe type thing, or it's like
it was Just Giving.
Just Giving thing there to help donate money to compensate those who lost their all that work not there on the layers. And yeah, I will admit I donated some money towards it as well, because this kind of ticked me off in a way. Well, in a way, I was very angry when I read about this. I was just
gave about I couldn't give much, but I gave him a $5.
Yeah,
I gave him a bit as well.
Yeah,
I don't usually advertise what I give to who, but I mentioned on Twitter just to basically get the word around so other people could give as well, because it annoyed me as well. It's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, so I gave a small amount there, but then it was also really shocking as well to hear that fellow celebrity railway modelers Pete Waterman and Rod Stewart also donated money toward it.
Oh, did Pete Waterman give some as well?
Yeah, because Pete Waterman, he's a really good.
He is. I didn't realize he'd given any, because I knew Rod Stewart had.
Yeah, Rod Stewart got donated by £10,000, which that was very kind indeed of him.
Well, that's cool. 10,000. Yeah, I have to say though, it's happening not too much lately to the heritage railway movement, because there was
railway movement in general.
There was someone smashing up carriage windows on the West Somerset, and then it happened on the Great Central Railway, and I think there was somewhere else as well. But you just think, well, why do people get a kick out of just smashing in windows?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, from the video that they published of one of them, that their youths who were only about 14. Really young. You think, God, at that age, why are you doing this? I mean,
because
because they're so young, you can't throw them in jail either.
I read earlier it's because they're on a GCSE piss up apparently.
Yeah, that's the story.
They were saying the way these yobbers were being punished, and saying they're getting they had to write apology letters and also getting their games consoles taken off. And I was like, well, sure to God, there should be more to it than that. Just discharge them from the GCSE so they don't pass or anything, and just
they got caught.
Oh yeah, they got caught. All right, yeah, they got caught the next morning, and
The rest of the same day, like that, or that the exhibition happened.
Oh.
Well, at least they got caught. That's
Yeah.
a bit of justice, I guess. But I don't know. If I caught those mongrels, they wouldn't just be caught. They'd be
Well,
Castrated.
But yeah, I just honestly don't know what goes through these people's heads.
I'd have neutered them or something.
blimey, Tom, what went through your mind?
Calm down.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's a harsh, but I just thought, why not?
Apparently, though, from one article I read, at least one of them is like, according to the mum and dad, like apparently the dad didn't talk to his son in days because of it. Like he was just that mad. But apparently, like the person who did it is genuinely very like shaken by their own actions, and like is wanting to do stuff to help, which is good. But also, it is like
you can always give them
£80,000.
So
Yeah, but why'd they do it? That's the thing. Why?
Because they were pissed.
Yeah, I don't know. They somehow found a bottle of alcohol of vodka.
They got a bottle of vodka on a piss up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go smashing up a.
Well,
again,
what it's being said is that they didn't realise
I've got to go
what
temporarily,
they were doing.
guys. The
Oh, okay, Gav.
It's overdue.
Okay.
You know, it's funny how Audrey's fiction about boys throwing boys throwing stones at engines. Actually, I remember 10 years ago it was on Newsround that a kid was, it was a bunch of kids who were really bored and they decided to throw stones at a passing train on the Swanage Railway.
Jeez.
And I think it hit someone, it smashed some glass.
Yeah, there was also a picture, I'm pretty sure, of a HST with newspaper around the pipe.
Yeah.
Like that has happened in
place, yeah.
That has happened on modern railways since.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the HSTs are over now.
Well, they're off long service.
I saw Tom B the day after, and I said to him, "Oh, were you at Reading the other day and see the last of the HSTs?" And no, what a shame. I would have seen them, but I was busy that day, unfortunately.
I can't remember what I was doing actually. Oh no, I was I think I did. I was in Reading when they were doing it, so I did see a couple go past them. I didn't actually see the ceremony, sadly. But
I mean, I have to say, I'm just amazed. I mean, when I came here, I moved to the UK in 2007. And they were still running, and I was impressed. Then I thought, wow, these are a living legend. It's only now 12 years later that they're still running, or were running.
Well, they still are, just not on the long run. Like they're not. It's not. They're not gone forever yet. They're still being used by ScotRail.
They always seems to get the old rolling stock up there,
and they're being used elsewhere as well. It's just they're off the long distance journeys now.
Oh right. Well, they made a big fuss about nothing, did they?
No, it's not a big fuss about nothing because it is quite a. Because they were in charge of that for so long. It is quite a. It is quite a historic thing to see them bow off that duty.
I reckon the what was it? The Pendennis Castle.
What, the HST or the?
But no, sorry, Pendennis Castle, the last steam rail tour.
Oh yeah, you were telling me the other day about it.
That was the one that I reckon even after, that was supposed to be the last time when the steam tours were going on. But I reckon they're still using it. I think when the A4 was being used, when the first diesel was failing and things, and the great A4s, wasn't they? They were still being used on freight trains when the diesels failed and that sort of thing.
No, withdrawal generally meant withdrawal. So, I mean, sometimes there were dates when the withdrawal date, and they'd steam them up for a few more days. All right, who's walking around?
It's Gavin.
All right.
Just thought I might as well show you, mightn't I?
It's always Gav.
Missed opportunity otherwise.
Yeah, we're going to see the behind the scenes of Spark Shots Custom Creations.
It's the first time a member of Model Corner, since being on the stream, has gone outside.
Yeah,
this is a historic moment.
Spark Shots.
Signal might be shy. Yeah, this shed. Hang on. Shut this door. 1 second. Right. It's literally about 4 foot this way, or 5.5 that way. I had to do this all in the bedroom, and I'm doing it here. This is a big job. I'm currently
Nice.
processing for somebody. It's a very big one. Lots of individual bits. So it's a bit small, a bit of a shit out. But we've actually done it out, and it's quite suitable now. It's kind of bodged up but waterproof.
Yeah.
This is the piece that does all the fun. The photon. Good little kit with a print on it. So, oops, hang on. Right.
All right. So Max was there for the last of the HFTs, or at least some of those.
Has my camera gone?
Yeah, your camera went there, yeah.
So, you back?
Yeah, you're back.
Right.
The only thing I did see for the last of the HST. Oh, sorry. They did a live feed of the last of the HSTs leaving Paddington, and it was funny. They were trying to do like a commentary from the cab, and the noise was so great that you couldn't actually hear what the presenters were trying to say, because it was just a sort of motor noise.
Now, doctor, we are about to operate.
That's essentially what I'm doing now.
What are you doing?
The first incision I shall make in here.
Ta-da.
Do you Gertson from Shed 17, Gav?
Oh, don't bloody start with that thing.
Love that film. I love it. He was literally cooking from the inside. By the time we were allowed to act, it was too late. Okay, so what I'm about to do now is a long process, and if you recognise this, as you're watching, you might recognise from one of Kurt Kamina's, aka Kudak 888's videos, where he's sanding off his resin molds for the China clay wagons. I'm going to do a lot of that with these seats because there's so much excess resin in the back of them for me to make sure they align properly and fit inside the coach. I've got to sand off the backs. So there's a lot of sawing going on, a lot of sanding too. So I don't know if I'll still be doing this by the time the stream finishes, but hey ho.
Sure, we still got. We won't finish until 10 o'clock. So
This will be This is going to take ages, man. I've got about 5 compartments to do.
right.
So what's you guys can do the maths for me.
Well, I got a D in math, so that's me out.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I got a D in maths, so that's me out.
I've got this calculus, so that rules me out as well. I was going to say, actually, Mike, my his father worked on the rail. My great grandfather, he worked on the railway as well.
Gavin's
He
gone.
was I think he was a station master at Buckinghamshire Railway.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for you to finish that, yeah. And what he gave me was actually give me this whistle.
All right.
Which is apparently Acme Thunderer.
Yeah.
You call that a whistle?
Yeah. It's authentic. It's one of the originals.
Oh, very nice.
Well, I use it still even now. Like at the train club I work at, when I'm on the guard, I carry it with me.
Nice.
A whistle? This is a whistle.
Oh, bloody hell.
Great Western and all. I was very lucky to get my hands on it. I know there's quite a few of them out there, but would have been on something Great Western.
Wow.
Jeez. On which loco do you know?
Well, it could have been any engine. I think it's the high tone whistle, whistle. They all had two whistles. They had a low tone goods whistle and the high tone one. Also, the same type was used on British Railways standard locomotive, but they all had standard British Railways. So, yeah.
Also used on Edward Thomas on the Telephone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got two-tone Great Western whistles at the moment.
So that could be the if it's from Edward Thomas, it could be from the original Edward Thomas because the Tanaclin locos aren't original.
Well, it depends what you mean. Original Edward Thomas. Yeah.
Well,
no,
the one who's not been rebuilt is Sir Hayden, as far as I know.
What? No, I'm trying to figure out what you're on. No, Sir Hayden's just had an overhaul.
No, but there's not the all Tanaclin locos apart from Sir Hayden are replicas.
What are you? No.
Well, there was a video. Adam Hamilton. He showed me a video of them being cut up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently,
As far as I'm concerned,
I think you've been led astray.
They have been
Because-
rebuilt so many times.
Oh yeah, they have been rebuilt. Like, but there are still original 1860s parts on Telephone Dog Ock. Not many, but like there are a fair bit of original parts in them. Same with the others as well. Like, yeah, they have been rebuilt, but every loco's been rebuilt. You know,
Even
yeah.
that Ruston and Hornsby thing.
for what's that? What?
That diesel they've got is supposed to be rusty.
Well, it is, but it's got a different like style body on it at the minute.
Yeah, so why did
Because-
they do that? I'm confused there.
Because there was a mistake. I actually asked about this once, and they were saying that the frame lengths. What happened is when they came back from somewhere, they accidentally someone had messed up badly and got the frame lengths too long, and the cheaper option was to swap bodies with a and get the new body on, because otherwise they'd have to spend a lot more money. So that happened because of that. But I will call bullshit on numbers 1, 2, and 4, 5, and 6 not being original. Calling them replicas, I don't think is fair, because you might as well call Scotsman a replica then as well.
Well, yeah, that's
Rebuild's a rebuild. The replica's a replica.
Yeah, well, I believe if it has a continuous history, then it's the original. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
if there's any original parts. That's why I'm peed off about Stepney, because they think that the next overhaul would have so much rebuilt, like a new boiler, possibly new wheels, new cylinders.
I'd rather it run.
Yeah, well, I'd rather they just rebuilt it rather than what they want to do is have either a replica or just to leave it as it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they should just restore it because it's still that loco.
Well,
Like no matter what, like you don't have the same skin cells that you had when you were born. You're the same person. Yes, I know it's a completely wildly different thing.
Apparently, we
but
go
it's the same
through a
principle.
full set of skin cells every 7 years, I think. Which
Exactly. So it's like
That's weird.
it's the same loco.
so I guess you could say I was a different person back then.
Yeah, we're constantly regenerating.
Yeah.
That's weird, actually, if you think about it. Yeah.
No, it's a nice thought because you think of Doctor Who, don't you? You think, oh wow, I could have a new body.
But then,
Speaking of
but then
Doctor Who,
there's the fear of becoming that next person.
It's like
Or
it's like
Returning as a woman. Yeah. Sorry.
it's like Matt Smith's last line.
I
but,
just
it's like Matt Smith's last line. He's like, we're all different people throughout our lives. Think about it.
Yeah.
look at my camera.
Oh.
All right. So we're all
Very on topic here.
Like, you want Doctor Who related stuff? Hang on a sec.
Oh yeah, I've got.
who's the odd one out here? Who doesn't like Doctor Who?
I like it, but I haven't got any money yet. Oh, actually, tell a lie. Hang on.
It's missing its signal.
Oh, it's a Dalek.
There you go.
This is a current.
Oh, there you go.
This is a current project that has been on and off for a while with me. It's one of the character option TARDISes, but I'm rebuilding the roof on it.
Yeah, like I say, it's missing a tire stock though, so I don't know where it is, but I will find it at some stage.
Yeah, it's, if you have a look at mine, that I'm building up the roof to be more accurate to the season 6 prop with Patrick Troughton.
All right.
But because the actual toys weren't the best accuracy wise.
They're called Descado.
Yeah, so enough Doctor Who.
Tell me this, were any of you guys pleased when Davros came back?
I wasn't a fan.
That's how you bring back a villain.
I was only my first episode was with Matt Smith.
Right.
Oh,
So
Mine was with Christopher Eccleston with Pardon of the Ways.
well,
that's an interesting one to start on.
Yeah. Well, I was this bad old fan who got into VHS when there was no TV series. So when it came back, I was delighted because all of a sudden everyone knew what Doctor Who was, and they thought.
Yeah, I can imagine that was.
When it was on VHS, it was like at school, it was the most uncool thing. The only beauty of it was being a Doctor Who fan in school rather than being a Thomas fan was that people didn't know anything about Doctor Who, therefore they had nothing to tease me with. Because they knew nothing about the show. They couldn't tease me like, oh, you're into talking trains or, those sort of comeback lines.
Yeah.
So, but apart from that, I was a bit of a weird kid. But I got my revenge in the end because when the show came back, everyone, all these people who used to ridicule me, all of a sudden loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've got a full-size Dalek in my living room.
Oh, you bastard! I want it. Give it to
So yeah, well, I've cut.
What design?
Well, it's 1960s because I'm into the old Doctor Who, the 60s.
Look, that's them and the Imperial Daleks. Probably my favourite designs for the Daleks.
What are your favourites? Oh, a lot of people don't really like those Imperial ones because
I love them.
Cream and gold. I think if you invert the colours on that image, it's more like a classic Dalek livery with the sort of blue and silver. I think that's more or less the idea with the design was they inverted the standard colours. But yeah, no, there's a black Dalek Supreme from the 60s.
Oh, lovely.
And it was strange fate. I mean, because of who I got it off, who was a convention organizer, it turned out that in the late 90s, a company called Big Finish took photos of it for a photo.
Oh, I love Big Finish.
And it actually is on all the Dalek Empire covers.
Oh, it's that one. Nice.
So it's that specific one. So I don't know whether you could say it's screen used. I mean,
cover used. Cover used.
Yeah. So,
the last thing I remember buying from Big Finish was their audiobook versions of Captain Scarlet.
Oh, I forgot they did those.
Yeah, the Spectrum Files. Yeah, that's what they were called.
Yeah, because they did Terrorhawks recently, didn't they?
Yeah, I need to get back to watching Terrorhawks because I actually did enjoy watching it. It was very good.
I never knew it existed until Big Finish.
Yeah.
Then
of course, like I heard, what's his name? Windsor Davis was in it there.
Of course, yeah. So of course, like, because it's Jerry Anderson's son is like one of the directors at Big Finish.
Yeah, I actually remember speaking to him on Twitter on stage.
Oh, lovely! It's quite funny. Just like the Jerry Anderson Doctor Who. Oh, my camera's run out of battery.
Well, it says that it was a fan of Doctor Who before Thunderbird. So.
Yeah, they did a documentary 20-something years ago.
Yeah, in the very first Thunderbirds episode, I believe it's the very first one anyway, if you see what the HUD is using upon the plane, it's actually the sonic screwdriver body from like the Pertwee era before it became the sonic screwdriver.
What happened? Right. That a lot of props and things got sold off in like a bits box, I believe. Yeah. And they just, when they needed a sonic screwdriver, they're this is a sort of interesting round.
And then the top part of the sonic screwdriver with the round bit with the bullet head was used as a communicator in Thunderbirds as well.
So they basically just watched it up with old props from Thunderbirds, which is funny. Is it technically an original Thunderbirds prop or an original Doctor Who prop?
Well, it's two original Thunderbirds props. merged into a Doctor
I
Who
think it's
prop.
probably more famous for Doctor Who in theory.
Oh, definitely.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the thing to me. I
Wow,
mean,
we've gone off topic.
I know. I wonder what it would have been like if it was a Thomas prop. I'd probably want to buy the two parts and reunite them as a Thomas prop or as a Thunderbirds prop. But
That's like the dilemma they have with OJ, isn't it? With the Tugs stuff.
oh yeah,
Because it's a Tugs prop, but it's also a Thomas prop.
Well,
It's like,
actually,
which one?
this might be spilling the beans a bit. No, I've spoken to the guy who actually converted it, and he said they were told specifically by David Mitton to be very faithful to it when converting it. And I'm not really big on Tugs, so I don't know every little feature of the design that they changed. But yeah,
all I did was paint it white.
Sorry.
All I did was paint it white and make a sort of a lookout box for it.
Yeah, but
I think my camera's back on now.
I'm told they were told to not change too much. In case they wanted to change it back, but that was in 1993-ish.
Yeah,
they didn't change too much.
If anything, I'm impressed that this guy remembered that from 1993. I mean, those model makers were doing hundreds of models, like knocking out a house every day, a building or a house or a prop. I mean, they were made really quickly. I think someone a few minutes ago, and I don't know if he's still on, he asked me, how did I get the measurements to make my Thomas? Well, it's a bit of a long story, but I did it as a 3D CAD model until I was happy with it. It's one of the reasons why I've not actually finished any 3D CAD models of any other engine, because it's a bit fiddly, But I mean, yeah, I used the reference photos with the rulers that are sort of out there, as it were. But no, I was lucky enough to get some measurements off a resin casting that was made many years ago off the original Thomas, and but it was in a very bad shape. But I was able to make a new 3D CAD model. So in theory, this is more or less off the original measurements. But if I want to do a Percy or a Toby,
that's going to be very tricky.
It's going to be a bit tricky because I have to eyeball it, and it's not just eyeballing that; it's looking at various photos of Thomas, you can kind of figure out how he's put together. Even in some of the early episodes, if you look very carefully, you can just about make out little faint lines of where the joins were.
Yeah,
like they didn't, they weren't being pedantic about body filler, because it was done in a rush, I guess, and the money wasn't as big a budget as it was in the later series, but yeah, Percy and Toby.
That's the charm of the first two series.
Yeah, but I mean, Percy and Toby, I've looked at them, so many pictures of them. And Toby, everyone just says to me, "Oh, he's easy, it's just a bot."
Oh God, no!
He's got all the nooks and crannies for the cab, and then you've got to have space for the eye mechanism.
Yeah,
and then you've got, I think, 3 or 4 layers for the base that the body sits on, and then you've got another. You've got the skirts that go on the side, and it's just working out how all that goes together.
Because people can say, "Oh, it's just the box," but it's like if you get the measurements for the box wrong, it's going to look wrong.
Well, not just the measurements. I mean, I'm being
just everything else.
And I actually find that when you're rebuilding something, it takes a lot more time to replicate something than it does to eyeball it. So yeah, I'm not surprised that they made the original engines in 8 weeks, but because they had no real. I mean, supposedly Toby was a J70 steam tram.
Yeah,
they did a pretty good job, but it was an approximation, mainly off the illustrations. But
did you say 8 weeks to make the models?
Yeah, the what was it? The 6 engines. The first 6. Toby came later with Bertie and Terrence. They had a few extra weeks to do those 3.
all right.
But yeah, the first batch was engines 1 to 6, which had to be ready. I don't know what set they would have shot first. I mean, some people think it was Knapford, but I really don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, when I went to your house, I mean, if anyone on the chat remembers the photographs we took of where we're comparing my Thomas to his Thomas, I was always tempted to kind of go up a scale, actually.
It's a nice scale, but it's so damn hard. I mean, I've always said I'm a reluctant model maker. Some people do it for pleasure or leisure or I just want the end result.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of both. Sometimes I'm like you. I just can't be bothered. I just want the end result all the time to enjoy it. kind of.
I could find the right person to make something. Maybe I'm overly pedantic about stuff, so I get I'm the sort of nitpicky person who would say, "Oh no, but that bit of plastic's not supposed to join that way," and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, but you won't see it," and I'm like, "No, but it has to join that way." I'm really pedantic, and I think I'm probably the only person who could put up with myself. With put up with all of that, but it does drain you. I mean, 99% of it is research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that though. When I'm
that's why this guy's taking so long. It's just because I wanted to be just right. Not compromise any materials, or if I know that I can get an authentic Markland chassis, then I'll have to wait till I can get a Markland chassis. Things like that I'm very pedantic with.
Yeah. I mean,
I've got one just here, actually.
My
Thomas, wrong with that.
My Thomas, I've been doing for
Excuse me.
I started off with the Lionel body shell. That was back in 2012. So I've been doing this project. It's only like the about 2 years ago when I actually bought the E2 kit, and it's taken that long to kind of just go ahead and make it. And I keep thinking to myself, what am I actually waiting for? Because am I trying to get it's when you're trying to plan out, for example, the iMake and trying to get the wheels to it properly. How are you going to know it's going to work unless you actually do it? So sometimes overthinking it or waiting isn't always the answer, unfortunately. You have to kind of make mistakes and go ahead and make it, really.
Yeah.
A lot of people sort of thought the same thing when they're trying to make any type of locomotive kit. They get these people's expresses to be even, they get scared, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I always say the same thing. You just got to buy the bits, what you think you need to buy at least, and just get on with it and learn the hard way if you have to.
And if it fails, just make another one.
Well, you can't always. I mean,
Well, that can be quite an expensive way of looking at it.
probably an ultimate expensive thing, because this solid casting chassis block from a Markland engine is about 350 to 400 pounds, and it has to be sliced up in about 3 bits, 3 or 4 slices. And if you get that wrong, it's not something you can weld together either.
No, but what I'm trying to say was basically like, I mean, this is an expensive hobby anyway. So if anything,
well, it's even more expensive in Gauge 1, I assure you.
I mean, unless you know exactly what you're doing, unless you've been experienced in this sort of thing before, you're never going to get it right first time, and you're still going to have to keep going back over and over and over, even if you're an expert. That makes sense. You're going to have to keep. That's what I was trying to point out, really.
Yeah, always.
But this chassis block here will one day have to fit under this. As you can see, it's a lot longer.
Yeah, Luke, your camera's off again, just so you know.
In my camera. Luke's camera. Yes. Well, which way around was this? Well, this is what it started off as.
Am I back on?
Yeah.
Grand.
I don't know how well, guys, you can see.
Yeah, I recognise that.
But you've got an N-gauge one, haven't you?
Yes.
By pure coincidence. But this is a Markland BR55 locomotive with no wheels. But I've got some wheels here. But, anyway, so yeah, that's what they used for Thomas. Not because he was the right wheel arrangement, but because he was had the right kind of sized wheels. But it's an 080 rather than an 060, which meant that it should look something like that when it's done.
This is my one.
Yeah.
With wheels.
Yep.
That's roughly what it looks like when it's full. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Get back to what you're saying. Sorry, Tom.
Oh yeah. No, I've got bags of bits like rods and stuff. But stripped it down to bare basics, because the rear wheel, which goes in there, and the rear bearing, that was the bit they kept. I mean, they sliced the back off it, obviously, and but then for the front 2 wheels, I think they might have used the front wheel in the existing chassis. So they cut a bit off the front, they cut the back, and then in the middle somewhere they made another cut and just sort of cut and shut it. So they joined it, and in doing so, they had to drill a new hole for the center drive wheel. And I'm told people who made it, who worked on the show in series 3, 4, they said the original Thomas chassis, because it was cut manually, it was a bit like a banana. It had a lower sort of, the middle wheel was sort of lower than the front and the back wheel. So they they took it apart and rejoined it for Series 3. But they put on a milling machine. But as opposed to using a hacksaw. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I'm going to try and attempt this myself or take it.
Do it completely accurate and make it a banana.
Yeah, complete with delivery. I was just painting yellow. But yeah, that's why I had to make it really out of the chassis block, which, as you can see, it's got a lot of nooks and crannies all over it. If I can get this off even, because it's stuck down with grease. See inside it. It's a very complicated shape. Working out how it's all going to, come apart, fit together is it's going to take a while.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate.
So I've just focused on more of a static model for my Thomas at the moment. I mean, obviously it's going to be built with the full intent of making it a working one, but that's why I just did a quick perspex frame. So it's just laser cut with the wheels sitting in it.
Yeah, I'm surprised how different yours were compared to my ones, for example, because mine are, I think mine are more engineering, whilst yours are the ready to run. It's gone very, very dark. Yeah, because yours the ready to run marketed ones. You don't have any. For example, to get the wheels off my axle, I'd have to use an Allen key.
All right.
And you don't have to use that.
Dan Coffey asks if this is Henry. No, it's the type of engine used for Thomas actually, and yeah, they use this for Thomas, believe it or not, just because they had the right sized wheels. But in doing so, they had to cut and join the whole thing. So yeah, I think I've got a rough idea, but it's awkward because you don't want to sort of make the plunge and just sort of cut it. Because, even if you're like 1 or 2 millimeters off, I mean, that could still drive me nuts.
Just to clarify, just once and for all, because in Series 1, obviously they made Thomas's footplate lower than it should have been. So basically they had to make a couple of rolling stock. They had to change the buffer heights.
Oh yeah, the front buffer beam. Yeah, that was quite troublesome. I mean, it even, as you will have seen on Thomas Bankmerker's Twitter, they even did that with the narrow gauge stock as well to get the buffer heights. Yeah, it's a bit weird with Thomas. I mean, I don't really know why they did it. I mean, there's an unusual instance in Series 1 where they got one of the express coaches and they actually bent the buffer downwards so it reaches Thomas's height at the back. Yeah. So I think, it's weird. I mean, I didn't really see why they had to do that, actually, because it's not like they're always going to be bashing in the back of each other. But, yeah, you can see inside the Markland chassis.
What's funny though, because, I mean, although it was lowered for Thomas's front buffer beam, when you watch Cole, you can see the shot of, like, for example, this picture here, actually, funny enough, look. Actually, no, tell a lie. Sorry, tell a lie. I've actually got the screenshot on my mood board here. Just there.
Oh, I've knocked the camera.
It looks like his back buffers actually match with Annie's, but actually now looking at it, they're
too low or too high.
Yeah, Thomas is too high. So that's obviously made for the front buffer beam.
Hurrah, I've lost a piece. Oh no, I found him. I'm just blind.
Where's your camera, Luke?
Pardon?
Your camera, we can't see anything you do. Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You were gone for a little while.
Oh, it's coming along now. I've done all 3 arches for the bridge. So.
Yeah, sorry, Luke, your camera keeps going in and out.
Oh. Is that a problem against all of you, or?
Well, no, I just want to find.
Also, I've just noticed in the chat, George. The loco I would steal from the Talaclan would be Alf, of course, because of its superior pulling power and speed.
How fast does Alf actually go?
Right, question from.
I take it from that silence. He hasn't worked it out yet.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry.
Cheers, Max.
I asked you like how fast does Outlast you go? You didn't say anything. I was like,
Oh, sorry, I'm completely zoning because my camera was messing up on the stream again.
No worries.
Oh God, I don't know. Probably about. I mean, the line speed is about 7 miles an hour, and it's too slow to pull a passenger train. So I'd say probably like 4 miles an hour.
So you won't get far, like before they finally catch you.
Oh no, it's fine.
A question from Sodor's NWR Steam.
Yep.
Do you think that the 3D printed process offers, the 3D print process offers any particular drawbacks as opposed to traditional modeling?
I'd definitely kind of say, well, I mean, it's less of an issue. It was with Shapeways an issue, like the whole preparation, sanding down, and all that. But with obviously with Gav's printer, it's really an issue. But like drawbacks, I think it's I'm not too sure. I think it's more just costs at this point, but then
You're cutting out a bit there.
again, like it's getting cheaper and cheaper, really.
Yes, Dan Coffey. My Thomas is low gauge. That's the scale they use for the narrow gauge in Series 4.
You were cutting out a bit there, Luke, there for a bit.
Hello?
Yeah, Luke, your mic keeps going on off.
No, he's not.
Well, yeah, but yeah,
I'm sorry. I think the
back to
Wi-Fi
the
is
3D printing. At the moment, I only use it for specific things. Like, for example, the roof vents on my Anion Clavo are actually Shapeways, made by Tom Jedski, and things like some of the faces I've had made. I've done on 3D printers, that sort of thing. It has its place. That's what I'd say. And I mean, I've actually never done a full body shell, a low pay body shell from 3D printing. I don't plan to, because although it looks impressive, I like my materials. I prefer brass.
Yeah, there's a chap who was printing Duke to my plans. He bought some parts, and I rather stupidly designed it to the same thickness of the original model, which was made of brass, which is way too thin.
Very thin.
And yeah, he got it, and it was already cracked. So I had to re-engineer it, make it a lot thicker. But even if you make it a double thickness or triple thickness, even, it's very brittle. So
that's the main drawback, I think. It's the whole thickness.
And how strong it is.
Let me just bring this in, because it's completely out of scale.
If anything, laser cutting, I think, is the way forward.
Well, this was a shell that I completely designed myself and got printed on Shapeways. And it's very, very satisfying being able to like design and then get something printed.
It sure is.
Yeah, you're one to say.
I know.
But yeah.
Very exciting, actually. You draw it up and magic, there it is.
Pretty much. There's some. If you need something very specific or want to make something very specific, I think it's a very, very good medium.
So these balance weights here, if you remember the first stream that was on, I did some balance weights on the Roblox. Was there finally for 10 years? These ones, these balance weights, I redrawn them, printed on the Photon. There's nothing needed to be done. It's just perfect.
Nice.
So
I'll tell you what, though, if you're doing coaches and you want some balanced weight, one of the good things I find is, I mean, obviously because my coach is made of brass anyway, but things like the coach seats that are resin, that sort of thing, they do add to it.
Yeah.
There's a bonus too. So, preventing, if you want to go as far as putting diesel in your coaches, I'd say if you can get some from plastic kits or if you can make your own, then that's just another added bonus, really.
I have to say, sanding resin is a pain in the neck, though. What you're doing there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm having to mute the microphone as I'm doing it, just so that I'm not.
You probably have a dust mask on. Actually, it's toxic.
Yeah.
Health and safety and all that. But anyway, there's it's quite toxic. And what I usually do is I have it like a sort of a blast with a power sander, usually in the shed, which I have it turned upside down in a vice, so I can just sort of sort of the item on the
Yeah.
on the
to be fair.
yeah. So I can get that nice and flat. I mean, sometimes there's a bit of a problem. That's why I always cast more than I eventually need, because I don't know if you had the problem, Tom Biddle, with the roof ventilators, but I had to make so many of them because I only have one mold of 4 or 5 of them, and yeah, no matter, you know, careful as possible, but they'd always be not straight. Some of them, you know, when you sand the backs of them.
Well, I'll tell you what I've done. This is one of the molds here with your roof vents imprinted.
Yeah.
All I did basically was I didn't actually put too much resin into them. I just I got a little piece of wooden stick, like a piece of, and just dipped a little bit of the resin on inside, little tiny drops of resin inside the mold, and any excess I just sort of scraped it off, scraped it away.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my mold actually. I can't find. I've got so many molds that just junk here. It's amazing how much one accumulates when making stuff like this. That will eventually just sit around and. Yeah, I think I went overkill when I made my mold. Actually, I mean, you know, it's like when you make molds, you just pour it in little containers and stuff.
Yep.
And they say it's supposed to have it's good to have about an inch around the edge, but and have about an inch on the bottom. But I think because of the size of the container, I mean, this for a mold really is just ridiculous.
Wow.
I don't know what container I did that in, but I would obviously find one. But
see, I just did that.
Sorry.
I just did a little one.
Yeah, I mean that's just for. I mean, well, smaller scale. This is gauge 1. But yeah, I mean, it's as I found with Shapeways. I mean, yeah, they do a very nice 3D print of it, but to get all the ventilators made, it was going to cost a fortune. So
that's the problem with Shapeways. It's bloody cost.
I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, I think the way to do it, which worked for me, was to get 4 or 5 of them printed up and then make a mold, so I can cast as many as I want, and they don't really cost anything once you're casting them.
Yeah,
but
buy some Straightways is why I ended up buying my own printer. I just got to the point where I couldn't be doing it anymore.
Shapeways, it's inspired a whole load of whole army of people to buy their own printers.
It sure has.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's for 2 reasons. I mean, obviously you save money yourself, just obviously by not spending as much as you would on Shapeways because you can print it yourself. Well, obviously as well, when you've got stuff you're trying to sell, you can obviously drop the prices.
Get a bit more money.
Prices are bloody stupid.
Depends what you're making, but yeah. Because I remember Tom, you were saying before when I said I wanted to try and make a resin mold of my E2, because of the brass material, it's going to be quite thin.
Yeah, well, that is assuming you're going to make it as thin on the inside. I mean, and I can't really see how you could make a mold of it otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why a lot of kits, they come in parts, you know, to join them. You know, you couldn't really, it'd be an impossible mold to do. I mean, I think with Thomas, you'd have to at least make the cab a separate component.
Well, I just want to have some E2 like parts so I can make like a little scrap decoration.
Or just make one out of plastic card.
Well, I guess I could.
Or just a spare kit. I mean, they're not cheap, I know.
Well, Thomas was £135.
Yeah, it's a bit of an expensive bit of scrap.
Not including the wheels or any of the buffers or any of the other little details I put on.
I mean, has anyone ever had any experience with molding putty?
Yes.
That's very useful.
Oh, I have dabbled.
I've done a few bits. I really should have used molding putty for these guys, but the disadvantage, of course, is the back of the mold is usually very rough because it's just been molded with your hands. So when you're pouring resin, it's usually a bit off balance. But that's just from my own experience.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Gav, if you're ever going to make any 3D printed parts of an E2 in O gauge and you've got any bits that didn't work or you want to chuck away, I'll be interested.
Well, I've already got an E to an O gauge on shapeways. But I mean, if there's certain bits you want, just I can rip them off, I suppose.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, if you're going to do any test pieces you don't want to keep, or
That's if we're going to actually model one in O gauge. I mean, I'd like to. It's just obviously in gauge 1 and O gauge, you can't fit as much track work in.
one of the things I wanted to try though. I mean, you did say something about do a box layout.
Nah, I'm not interested in box layouts.
Tom B, how's your toad coming along? Said someone.
Sorry,
Someone's asking you about your toad.
my toad.
Yep.
Oh, that's exactly what it's in the same state it was last time I was on here. Actually, I haven't done anything to it since. Because the thing with Lima, a lot of their detail is imprinted into the plastic. So I've been using wood carving tools to cut off all the excess handrails and little details that don't need to be on it. But trying to do that and not scrape off like rivets or anything like that, it's just really impossible.
Yeah.
But, not impossible. But it's just like it's very time consuming. So I've not given up. I just haven't been bothered to do it. Toad's not a character I'm really fussed about, to be honest. But
It's funny because everyone has a toad because he's based off a toad, which is a very common break band, and yet, yeah, he only really goes with Oliver and
Douglas.
Sorry.
It's less popular because it's obviously not on the TV.
I think they should have more of him actually, because every Heritage Railway has a toad break band. When they do that with Thomas events, they usually get him mixed up with, much to my surprise, they get him mixed up with Toby. Because they both got T-O as like the first letters. Toad, Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange, because he's sort of box shaped, a bit like Toby, but yeah, I think it's the parents. It's not the children who get them mixed up. It's the parents.
Yeah.
They must have had a terrible childhood to not remember the names of the characters.
Yeah. I'm just going into the workshop now and get this coach now primed. It's pretty much now ready for painting now.
Ah! That's bloody cyano glue all over me.
Oh dear.
I will be
Rub
back
your
in a
fingers
moment.
together.
let's have a little
Interval.
try a little marker. So, like for example, let's see who has the most accidents in each live stream.
Maybe we might have a running marker.
I think so far it's been Luke tonight. He's had the most mishaps.
Yeah, poor Luke.
Maybe we should do that as like a segment of each of these live streams, like who's made the most mistakes.
Oh, flippy! I wonder if somebody would actually, have the time to go through each and every one of these live streams, just pick like one random moment and make like a compilation of it. Compilation of like the funny moments from Modeler's Corner.
The goose in Modeler's Corner.
Yeah, the goose from Modeler's Corner. Yeah, that'd be great, funny.
Oh, there'd be a lot. Or I pray they don't do a mashup. Famous last words. What do they call them? A poop.
Oh, yeah, outtakes.
Like, it's funny because I know Michael Rosen as being that author guy who was in Thomas the Tank Engine Man. But of course, you know how he did all his books, he read them out on YouTube and someone got hold of them.
Yeah.
Made him famous as a meme and doing millions of these poops.
And he was okay with it as well. Michael Rosen was okay with it.
Well, maybe not at first.
The video he made was quite funny. He's like, "Oh, thank you so much for pooping me." It's quite funny.
That's the thing. Everyone, whenever he does, when he used to release a book, everyone would want to talk to him about his book. Whereas now, the first question everyone asks you is like, "What's it like being a meme?" and "What's it like being a poop?"
Yeah. Does anyone from far back remember the Turbo J, the Turbo J US guy? Apparently, made a few spoof with Brad saying things like, "Turbo J, you are more than welcome to have my babies."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know? I actually was thinking about contacting him at some stage here to ask him if he'd be interested to do a little skit for Branch Engines, but I'm not sure. I need to try and get.
Rosen.
No, Saramai.
He's a very good actor. I've always loved his driver's voice. You know, like
That's actually what I was going to ask him for. Like, you know, would he be interested just to reprise his driver role for a bit?
I'd love
I've been
to.
on a holiday with him. Cool bloke.
Uh,
So am I, decent bloke.
God, this glue is angry.
angry glue.
Well, no, like because it's spilt on my clothes and my
Yeah.
my
We
pants,
can't
and
actually
it does start smoking.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I've had the odd
with
glue burn every now and again.
with like fabric and so these
Tissue.
these
Dip
jeans
some
are
tissue in it,
absolutely
it's still
ruined.
smoke.
Oh yeah, but these jeans are
Down to
completely
balls.
ruined now, which is absolutely
Confirmation title suggestion for accidents and mishaps. Modelers get bumped, or Biddle and Whitehouse and the balls up. Okay.
Balls ups. I don't know,
There we
but
are.
like, yeah, like if anybody has like, oh god,
Yeah, and it's on the shirt as well. Just big
I quite like
bloody
bloody hell,
burn
mate.
patch. That's wonderful.
God almighty. God help you, mate.
Arrogance. So that's fun, but it's all part and parcel with this hobby.
Oh, the
Death.
joy! Oh, the joys of railway modelling here. Not only does it cost you in making models, but also cost you in new clothes.
Pretty much.
Railway modelling.
Sanity.
It's a great hobby.
That's funny. When I used to work at Plymouth Valley Railway, my mate Daniel, he was
Oh, it's Peggy.
he ruined a pair of trousers, and he was like, "Okay, well, this means more railway trousers." Then
I'm just picturing the Fat Controller in Scarf for Percy. You know, he's packed his special trousers.
Trousers.
Tell me I'm not the only one. When in the episode of A Scarf for Percy, because I mean I only first saw it in those video collection adverts where it showed like the series 3 clips of Thomas the Tank Engine, and it showed the bit from Percy, A Scarf for Percy, and it just shows him crashing into the luggage trolley, and then everybody gets all like jammed, all covered in them. I actually kept thinking, for a while, I kept thinking that Percy killed the porters by accident. That was the blood.
Oh,
wonderful.
You have a dark mind.
I hope I'm not the only
they
one.
never mentioned the jam in the box, did they? They just threw
Packet
it in.
chassis.
This guys.
Yeah, it's a packet chassis. It wasn't designed to actually fit on this body, but it does. The only
Wow.
thing is, you might want to move the double leaf spring back a little bit.
Actually works.
Try and closer. Yeah, I mean, you look at the leaf spring; it's not quite aligned, but
Yeah.
always move that.
Things actually works.
Well, I don't really have any modeling to do today, guys, so I'll just leave this as a screensaver.
Oh, definitely.
Whee!
I was going to say, Gav, you do sound like when you did that video, like do do
Yes.
do.
This
You do
is
sound like
potentially
Kev.
very dangerous.
You do sound like Kev from Derek. Ricky
I
Gervais.
keep saying. I did watch that particular clip you sent me. It was quite.
What's the
Different
whole
word to
series?
use.
The whole series is hysterical.
Thing is, with this now, I've come to the stage where at the moment I can't really do anything because I mean I need to just let it dry, to be honest, before I go over it again.
Yeah. That's pretty good, though.
You know,
What number of brass is out there?
this one
Yeah, the brass paint there.
Humbrol metallic 16.
Okay. I need to check that
I like it.
because I often I sometimes have issues when I'm painting, Humbrol brass paints. So maybe they're not probably mixed or something.
Well, I find they tend to flow really well.
Mm.
It's just like anything, just give it a couple of coats.
Yeah.
This hasn't gone. I need to patch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm cooking potatoes.
Right, I'm just gonna get this primed here, so I'll be back in a minute.
Because what I'm basically doing is I'm trying to make a backhead for, well, not backhead, it's a wall for the inside of the rear and the front of Cut Panel Clover. If any of that made sense.
Mike.
I think it's gone off.
bugger! I was going to say if you could put my my camera as like the front stage on, just because I'm quite happy with how this is looking.
I think just keep talking, and then it'll keep on.
But yeah, it depends if the camera's actually turned on or not.
I can see it. It looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely. Let's see some of the.
But yeah, so like it's not exactly correct with the arch lamps, but I'm content. It still needs this. It's currently being held up by balance alone, which is slightly terrifying.
Right. Does anybody have any requests to say anything or questions from me? Because I've got to the point where I can't really do anything anymore now until that's dried.
Oh dear, face fell off.
Out of models.
Hey?
Gavin, out of models.
How's what?
Gavin's out of models.
Yeah, so am I actually.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've been painting the furnace tender a little bit. It's a bit messy at the moment because I've got to, sort of line it.
I'll tell you what. Do you remember the first
Can't really do anything yet.
Remember the first modelers you did? You were working on Thomas.
Yeah.
What have you done to it since then?
Well, if you're watching, you would have saw.
Yeah,
I've just got it out. I just put the balance
bloody
weights on it. So these painting those balance weights below. Other than putting a rear couple, and that's about it, really.
So did you paint the other side of the wheels, or?
Yeah, the wheels painted. Yeah. Just got to paint the balance weights. I just fixed.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm kind of sad how low quality my camera seems to be popping up on stream. I don't know if that's just this or whatever, but
I don't know if this is going to interest anybody.
Well,
Probably won't. But I brought this from Shapeways. Somebody else's design. Painted up.
I wonder what that's meant to be.
aha!
It's Morris Minor, but obviously, yeah, Fat Controller. I'm not sure if the windows worked because it was just like the crystal clear glazing, but it looks a bit thick and blobby because
Oh, nice.
it's quite a bit. It's nice.
Oh, Mike's back.
Little good one.
Yeah, it's back.
One thing I've always wondered about
Expanding.
how come he's never gone? The Fat Controller, when he drives his Rolls Royce, how come he's never gone through the floor?
Don't know.
I've got to plug you in. Just realised I'm on 12% battery power.
So what I've been doing basically the last 5-10 minutes, I've just put a plate here inside the brass coach, so I can then put a seat number back here.
Uh-huh.
So once everything's primed, I paint the back head and the seats, obviously, and then put people in it, and then all done.
Nice.
It's basically just to make everything more aligned.
Yeah. Let's see. What can I work on here whilst
How's your model going, Mike?
Yeah, just got a prime there. Nice. So I'm just waiting for it to.
I just want to jump in a second.
Sorry.
Hornby just asked me, do I have plans to do 3D prints in no gauge or gauge 1? I've actually got some on Shapeways. In terms of me printing them here, well, can't really yet because I need a bigger printer. But yeah,
Well, that would be a long live stream, wouldn't it, to show you 3D printing something?
Yeah.
It'll just send you to sleep. It's fucking boring watching it.
Oh, hi.
It's majorly boring.
People watch it to go to sleep.
Weaver.
I'm sure there'll be somebody just says just does a whole recording of a 3D print being made. It's just like probably like one of those relaxation.
Yes, there's actually quite a lot of people on YouTube who do it. They set the printer going, and the camera goes also like between 10 and 15 hours. And it's just like you watch about 10 seconds of it, then switch it off because it's really boring. Don't know anybody could watch that.
Well, play it at 10 times speed or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I've done modelling for today. But if anyone's got any questions about the TV series or modelling the TV series, then fire away. Someone did ask a few minutes ago, though, he reckons that they used coffee for the coal in Thomas Percy and the coal. But
I knew that. I knew the coal looked very bright.
no, I don't know. I think that's a myth. I think that's a new one on me.
Thank you, Christopher O'Shea.
But what I think, someone was telling me about how they were pondering for hours once. So they wanted to make some coal loads in the TV series, and they were pondering, well, what can we use to actually look like coal, and then make a mold, and then cast it up in resin. And they were like, oh, we could use this, we could use gravel, cat litter, or whatever. And eventually what they actually did was they thought, oh, it's obvious. We'll just get some real coal and we'll break it up into little pieces.
Which is what I do.
I think you can actually get, just like that.
I sometimes put it in a pestle and mortar and crush it to the sort of size I want. That's actually from real coal from a proper preserved railway. Free lump, it's lasted me years. I'm still on the same lump.
Or you coal thief.
I've done a similar thing. Not with coal. I have done it with coal, but with slate. Like this is some slate taken up from the quarry on the telecom. If you have a look at the little truck here,
It's just frozen up.
oh, for God's sake!
I can just about see it. Oh, your picture's gone.
Yeah, because you said it froze.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's real slate that I just chopped up into like miniature slabs.
Awesome.
A few things that sort of scales down relatively well is coal and presumably slate as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I got a question for people.
Oh, go on.
Who watched the video of this?
Oh,
Oh, yes. Is that your? Is that the second one?
The what? Sorry.
Is that the second J70 there?
Yeah, the first one, Kerno's Model Centre have it, or whatever they've done with it. Ran like a bag of poop.
I know. I'm glad that you managed to get
Bloody worse after the running. But yeah, I mean, thanks to your advice, that's why I kind of contacted him. I wasn't sure if I should, because sometimes you
no,
fix it with
definitely.
running, but that was awful.
Yeah, with the way Rapido are as well, they like to make sure that like stuff's running correctly. So it's just a case of bad luck.
Well, like I said, really, it's kind of come good in a sense because I've then on the video at the end of it managed to sort of give them a bit of a thumbs up, really, to say thanks for a decent
sorting
service.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of gives them a good name, I suppose. It should do. And yes, I was a bit callous and crass in the vid, but hey, it's funny.
Well, that's just you, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You're very funny, Gavin.
Bit uncouth, direct. Calls a spade a spade. It's fucking shit. Yeah.
I might as well show you this. Show you guys this wee item which I was working on during the week. There, it's a wee Langley models kit, really, which is going to feature Merton engines. It's not finished yet, though. This is actually the horse and cart seen in bullseyes.
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
So I've got it all painted up there to make it look like the actual cart out there. So it's still needs a wee bit more work done it there. But yeah.
You know, my good friend actually made the horse and cart bullseyes on the TV show.
All right.
He was really chuffed because he was doing a little bit of work for like a week on Thomas, and he wasn't there for very long, but he was very chuffed with the little horse and cart he made. He didn't make the horse; he made just the cart. So it's just a funny coincidence. I think it thrilled him because there was a shot of Daisy that ended up on a stamp.
Yeah, and then you see the horse and cart there.
The horse and cart, and I said, "Look, your horse and cart is the cart's on a British stamp."
Well, every little helps.
But yeah, I thought maybe just to do something different, if it's of any interest to people out there, is instead of showing my own modelling, maybe an original model.
Always liked that coach.
That was amazing.
That's gorgeous.
I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's got a few things wrong with it, which one day I'll take to a professional and have it properly restored. But as you see there,
wow,
it's just cast resin with a dye in it to make it a sort of grey colour, and various cut slots for the cables for the lights.
Wow.
Assuming they needed them.
They reveal everything on that, bro, didn't they?
Yeah.
But how much of it was recycled from the original?
None. This was all new. I mean, it's even got Great Western bogies. Unfortunately, with age, the resin has warped on the sides, so they're going to need.
Great West, but ain't based on a Monsell coach, just shortened.
Sorry?
So you mentioned the Great Western bogies, but is that not based on the Monsell coach, just
Well,
shortened?
the 10mm kits were, and they were Monsell bogies originally, but when they made these ones, they were brand new. They were based off the original coaches, but they made a brand new template,
Right. Okay.
a 3D template out of, plastic card and, various
Yes,
bits.
Daniel Covey, it's legit.
And then they cast that up in resin and made multiple sides. So it's loosely based on the original. But when it came to fittings, certainly for the bogies, they actually accidentally got Great Western ones. So these later ones, which this is from Series 6 and was used till the end.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's remarkable actually, just how much you realise. You kind of. I mean, it's one thing I noticed obviously when I was there and I saw it. It was I didn't realise how chunky all the Gauge 1 stuff is actually.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, this coach. I mean, I don't know what you can see on camera, but it really is worse than what it looks like on camera because it's deteriorated with age. Props sadly are never meant to last, and even as the model makers themselves will tell you, they're surprised that these props are still around. So, I mean, there's even things like, here's a fun fact for you. They actually made the Express coaches twice for Series 6. The first set used a cheap resin, which apparently, under the hot studio lights, it actually leaked, which basically meant that there was like little shiny patches on the paintwork. And apparently that can happen if
Little what? Sorry?
sort of where the resin, it's not cured properly, so it actually leaks and bleeds under these hot studio lights.
Yeah.
And then on the paintwork there would be these little shiny patches. So yeah, it was the case with the model maker going back to the saying to the producers, look, I told you so. I wanted this expensive resin, but you only gave me this really cheap stuff. So they ended up saying, okay, well, you buy the expensive resin and make us some new coaches really quickly, which we did, and we cut the old ones up with a bandsaw, which in Thomas' terms sounds pretty sad, but as far as he was concerned, he was determined that nobody would accidentally reuse the coaches for anything. Recycle them in a new scene. But yeah, a lot of the resin though, I mean, under heat or you can warp it back into shape, but of course it's through bad temperature storage conditions that the sides aren't dead straight anymore. They're sort of warped. So they need professionally going over. I mean, when I got this, there was actually mold growing inside the coach.
Oh no.
Sorry guys, just question from Dan Hornby for Tom J.
All right.
Can you advise people how they can find the get hold of props? And also, isn't that the coach that Kudok 888 is trying to replicate in his videos? It's not. No, he's trying to replicate Series 1. That's from Series 6.
Well, it's supposedly the same, similar type, but I don't really have any advice to prop collecting, to be perfectly honest, because there's, as far as
it's such a lottery, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. No, I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. But
you were lucky. You were just lucky. That's how I put it.
Very lucky. But yeah, there's not really much more to say on it. I mean, obviously, HIT's got a lot of props, which they take care of. They're in storage, but I've got nothing to do with them. Yeah, haven't really got anything more to say on that.
Funny story from
Prop Store. Just keep your eye out on Prop Store. Really, is all I can say.
I've got a funny story actually about. Go back to the Daisy story about the from bullseyes and things. I met a model maker who he's actually a volunteer at Big Kit. He works on the steam trains and things.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was actually a model maker on the show, but he said he's talking about the story about Champion the Bull, about how the prop had a pair of detachable bulls.
Oh, I think I heard this story. Yeah.
detachable testicles and things. So
Detachable.
I think that's a myth with the one they made for Series 5. There was a larger one, a bull made in Series 5, which was in Gordon and the Gremlin, I think.
Yeah.
because I had a look at the prop, and there's no signs of where they could actually slot the balls in, because apparently they slot like you would an action figure or something.
Yeah, I really don't know. Oh wow, they look nice.
So what
There is that a J94? A tender version.
I don't have a J94.
Oh no, that's not a J94. Oh, sorry.
J1, though.
Any of you know the one at was it the Ribble Steam Railway with?
Yeah, hi. That's where I volunteer.
They used to be at the Mid Hats. It was an interesting engine that they rebuilt from a tanker.
Yeah, Douglas.
Whose driving wheels on it were actually 1 inch larger than the wheels on the tender. It's very small driving wheels, but yeah, very interesting, unusual.
Yeah, we got that back into Steam last year. I think it's currently at East Lancs. Could be wrong though if it's gone off elsewhere.
But yeah, that's basically. I don't know why they put reflective paper inside these coaches.
I think it's for the lights.
It'll be for the light.
You don't actually see it because once this goes back in, which has its own floor,
Oh, okay.
All right.
you don't actually see it. So
Maybe it's for not. Maybe it's to make sure it doesn't stick or anything.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So you've got the plastic glass perspex that all slots back in. So yeah, it really is a nicely produced model, but yeah, sadly it's seen better days, and one of these days it will get sent off to a professional somewhere. Be carefully, because I couldn't bear doing it myself, because being so attached to the thing, I would just hate to see it be screwed up or anything go wrong to it.
You don't think one of us do it?
No,
But,
I don't think we have the. We don't have the skills.
I think it's too precious to do anything with.
No, I agree. Actually, I think. Sorry.
I mean, another thing I don't know if you can see it on camera, but even the ends here, as you'll see on camera, these black ends here, even they've warped out a little bit. So when the roof sits on, there's like a little gap. The roof doesn't sit as nice and neatly as it once did. But yeah, hopefully that will all be remedied one day. And I think
manner.
the biggest crime was the wheels. I think I've cleaned up half of them once. They're not bad to clean up, but I don't know if you can see how rusty they are.
Yeah.
And they can barely turn. They've practically rusted through. And to resolve a myth, well, you've just seen one side of the coach. Now you see the large window side. So some people think they're two different types of carriages, with the large windows and the small ones. But those into railways, you'll know that it's for the compartments.
I'm just going to show Luke's things here because I'm just saying it is violet snow.
Looks very nice.
There we are. Yeah, so still need to get like the railings on and stuff, but I've finished the actual bridge construction, which is quite fun.
Nice one. Well, I kind of finished my kit there for the night, but it still needs to be painted up properly like that. So I'll get around to doing that maybe maybe over the weekend when I get time.
I've just glued in some of the bits for the interior. Sorry, it's taking quite a while. Unfortunately, this is the part of the job where it takes hours and hours to do, and then it takes so long that actually, and you get so little done. Unfortunately. The modelling is not a
quick hobby.
Some people can do it, and but I think some people who take extra time to work on them, I prefer that to just rushing it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Luke, do you recognise them?
Oh, hang on, let's have a look. Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Oh, no, not the truck face. Was that a failed one?
No, it's just a spec. Sometimes I print two in one go in case one fails.
Oh, yeah.
So I just sort of did nothing.
Horrifying.
It's not good stuff.
On the subject of faces, actually, no. Sorry.
Oh, wow. It's got teeth.
It's part of a brake van, strangely.
Wow.
Like I say, it looks like it's chewing brake pads.
They look like Archibald brake van.
That's
wow.
I could show you the faces, couldn't I? The face collection. They made no new ones. So.
I wouldn't mind an Archibald no gauge. just do like an Archibald face in no gauge. That'd be pretty funny. I could do that segment with Thomas and him at the station where he's like, aren't you going to say something to me? Oh, yes, of course. Go away, you're spoiling my image.
Ah, you played Bill and Ben in that episode, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. Looks like you're beating his own words now.
Saw a camera for a minute.
All right.
Oh, God, wow.
Wow.
It's got
Memory
interest,
lane.
surely.
Memory.
This is all the Troz faces. All of them.
Memories. Wow.
Wow.
Get a good close look at them all.
Are you gonna auction those later?
I mean, no. Keep them. I have to carve half of these out.
Wow.
So I'm going to do with a bit of like a repaint, but
So are these all just made out of resin or plaster?
these are plastic. Because what I initially did was I took one of the proper Hornby Thomas faces. Use this initially. Just these are the original molds.
The latex molds.
Latex ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
but the
that's what I used to do. I used to do that years ago.
Yeah, but I think once you make one, and once you've got the plaster, you can then carve bits off or add a bit of plaster on. So that's how I got the new expressions.
Yeah,
I always wonder how you did that. So did you just basically did you quickly just put the face in the mold and then alter it slightly, or did you?
No, I copied the initial Hornby faces, and then when I made the cast of them, so I had the plaster version of the face, I would then basically carve that myself, or add a bit of plaster to it, depending on what you need to do.
Wow.
And that's how I've basically done them. So I use the Hornby ones as a basis, but then monked about with them. So I think some of them I didn't even use, but that's quite an early one. This is.
Is that for your Henry 1?
Yeah.
Henry 2?
Yeah, smaller face.
Do you still have the original Henry 1 face from years ago that you thought was a bit
The scary
creepy?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, still got that.
Where you used Rebecca's
here, look.
sorry, about the Britain tender.
It's the Joker Henry 1 face. Dun! See? Makes a jump.
I remember seeing progress pictures of that.
Here's a second Henry 1 face. This was a second attempt. Still a bit creepy, actually, but it's better.
Oh, it's better than nothing, like, you know.
I mean, this was Gordon's face as a basis, and I had to change the size of the eyes, and took quite a long time to try and change the look of it, because this was Gordon. These all stem from Gordon.
Well, dude, that's amazing, actually. To be fair, from Gordon, and actually, in terms of your carving, this you can sort of tell actually your skills have progressed since then. Like,
Yeah, well, this is an early one. See, it's a bit wonky.
Oh, what kind of face is that meant to be?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I used it. I might have done, actually. I'm not sure.
I think you may have used it in episode 5, I think.
You know what I'm going to ask?
I'm not sure, but hang on.
Have you got Archibald's face in there?
I have. I'll show you them in a minute.
I think I can see Archibald's face.
I like this face. I was quite pleased with this one. It's not far off the original.
But you've painted it, haven't you?
Of course I have.
I mean, you've painted it since because wasn't it in down? Was it off the rails? Wasn't it covered in mud?
Oh yeah, I had to go over it actually. Yeah, think of that. That's the point. But yeah, I think I recreated this one pretty almost exactly. What we got? Now this one's interesting. It's not quite the Hornby Gordon face you'd think it is at a glance. Bloody focus me. But look at the creases of the mouth. Put the creases in.
All right.
If you see that. Whereas a Hornby one doesn't have mouth creases. It's like as the mouth goes up, it curves downwards.
Right.
Because mine's got creases actually. Look, the one I used for my Yo gauge one.
Yeah. I got this face. This was the first attempt at his bald-looking face. I did 2 of these.
It's got a massive bottom lip there.
I know. Well, this is why I did another attempt. I wasn't totally happy with this. That was the first attempt. The second attempt came out a lot better, which is this one. Again, it's still not perfect. It kind of drips down too much now, but I think it's better. Right? And then this was the first version of the angry face.
Those
It came out how I wanted it, so I changed it and put the
Hmm.
teeth there, and it just became like my own spin on it, if you like.
those bloody crows are doing my smoke box in.
That's the one. The second attempt at the angry face, where is it? Oh no, Gordon's actually wearing it on the display rack. Never mind. This one looks more like an alien than it does. It's going to throw me in the sea face.
Oh god.
Yeah, a little bit out of proportion in it.
No, but it's good though. I like what you tried to do there, where you sort of cut into the the cheekbones to kind of make that.
It took ages to carve the other one. This was actually like another failed face I'd never used, but then I just bunged it in episode 8. I thought, sorry, I could use it whilst I was just sitting there in pain.
Like a near face.
Yeah, kind of. I don't even know what expression it's supposed to be. This is like supposed to be Edward's angry face. It's okay, but it leaves a bit to be desired.
That just means it has an element of diesel about it.
Jamesy.
So I got Rheneas on Rheneas Viaduct right here.
Wow. So you've already got the coaches.
Oh yeah, I've only got the 2 though, sadly.
How did you make those? Did you scratch build them?
No, the Meridian models kits that are being sold by Narrow Planet at the moment. So the coach number 3 here is made of brass, while coach 4 is plastic, and van 5 is also plastic. So I only need Agnes and Roof for coaches 1 and 2, and then I've got the whole train.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Put the stone face on.
Pardon?
This one here. It's like a stone
I
face.
remember that one.
Too much weed.
Oh,
This was supposed to be his one way. This was supposed to be like where he slunk into the shed, and that sort of face, like at the end of that, you know.
Yeah.
But it didn't turn out right. But I kind of liked it, so I've used it. But you asked for Archibald.
You
There's
look like
first
he's been stabbed in the eye.
It's first Archibald, right?
God, look at all the wrinkles on him.
And then
It's in its
I did his
box,
angry
Ben.
face. I went a bit over the top, and he looks like the mummy.
Go
Look at
away,
that,
you're
dude.
spoiling my image.
Yeah. If you had any more creases, you'd fit elephants in the gaps.
Yeah.
Looks about 103.
That'll be the last image we'll see on the stream, I suppose.
And I got some.
Yeah. Those are really good. Nice Richard Blandon doing that.
I feel what though, for the first attempt, I think, because I don't think anyone else did faces when we first started making videos on YouTube and that. I think they're actually pretty darn good.
Yeah. That's good.
Percy.
Yeah. Right, guys. I think we might have to call it quits now for tonight, if that's okay.
Of course, yeah.
Because
very good.
it's just now 3 minutes past the hour that we said we were going to finish on. So yeah, from start to finish, despite my little lateness arriving,
I would advise you not to watch the beginning. That's all right.
oh, I'm going to watch it. All right.
I don't want it to ruin our friendship.
Hey. All right.
I'll forget what he said. He didn't say.
All right. Well, sure. But yeah, at the minute, I haven't got my model to show you at the minute because it's been getting dried off right now here with it being primed up here. But I will do some more work on it maybe over the weekend, and I might have some photographs of it to show on Twitter or on the model page on SIF. So yeah, so we'll just go through each of ours once to see what way we've got so far. So Tom, you just getting your seats all glued on?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Well, basically, what I've done, unfortunately, I didn't get done what I was hoping to.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to carry on during the week. What I've done is I've been gluing in the interior seats and the back rear ends to kind of fill in the gap sort of thing. Basically, yeah, again, sorry for a very boring and not very exciting build. I know that when people really want to see brass works and all that, but it's as you know, it depends on what. Hopefully the next Modellers Corner, I'll have something a bit more exciting to show. But here's what I've done so far.
Yeah.
I've put these bits in so that I can put the seats right up against them.
Yeah.
And then hopefully once I primed everything, I can paint it. Oh, that's coming off. Oh no. But yeah, so Here's hoping. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do that again. I think.
No worries.
But yeah, hopefully in a few weeks I'll have this finished. Might have Thomas on the go, and
Yeah. Gavin, your work so far? You're just basically picking up Percy, weren't you?
Yeah, I did a little bit of furnace tender, just a wee bit. Just started the black on it, and obviously put the balance weights on combo.
That's good.
Can I just?
Tom Jinsky, you're just
Well,
on your.
I didn't have anything planned for tonight, but I've ended up cutting a new cab roof and a inner cab cover.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have that all glued and neatly done, and then just onto the finishing touches with the cab windows, and then hopefully soon I'll be able to have it in undercoat and then ready for painting.
Awesome.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry. Just to kind of point something out. What I use is 2-part epoxy resin. Be careful, because what you should do beforehand is wash the brass, because if you watch this closer, you can. I don't know if you can see, but the resin has gone green. And I had the same problem when I was gluing the W irons on. What that basically means is that the glue's not set properly.
Right.
And I'm guessing that's what happens when it comes into connection with brass. So
yeah.
These ones are shorter Connor's faces, by the way.
I'm just showing Luke's model as well now, because that looks pretty cool now.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, you've done a very good job on it, mate.
So, I got what I wanted to do, which was build the kit. I just need to do a few extra little bits and bobs here and there, such as like the little balcony. And all the hand railings for it, and then give it a paint.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to take this time to say, Stuart, Richard, Andrew, I don't smell. You do. They're harassing me in the comments of the live stream.
Let's have a look.
They would, wouldn't they?
They always do.
I can see it now. Smells like an
Yeah,
old sock.
Smells like an old sock.
I think if anything, you probably smell like coal and oil when you're on the footplate.
You got first-hand experience for that.
But
don't encourage him, Max.
Smells like an old sock. Yeah, well, there's plenty of them when you're cleaning the engines, and there's an old rag.
Oh yeah,
it's been usually been the odd sock that's been used to.
There's 2 giant drums full of just old rags and stuff that Owen.
Yeah, there was a there was a guy at the Midhats Railway who his nickname was Dobby for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, and he was cleaning the engine one day. He used to get teased a lot being called Dobby. And he was cleaning the engine, and someone gave him like an old rag, which was of a sock. And they said, Master has given Dobby a sock. He fell into that one. I thought that was funny. But he didn't think it was funny though, but I did.
Oh, very good. Okay, guys, I think we'll finish off on that there. So thank you once again to Tom Biddle, Gavin Rose, Tom Stinsky, and of course our guest at Modeler, Mr. Luke Ryan, for joining us tonight on Modeler's Corner.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on board, and
it was really, really nice for you to ask me. Thank you.
Yes, you're more happy to come again next time. So, whenever we're going to hold another one. So we might. I don't know if I'll have one next week. I might have one maybe the following week. So, yeah. Until then, it's been a good live stream so far. All right, guys. So thank you again for joining in, and we'll take care. So everybody in the chat, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay, here we go. Till next time, guys.